I've said it before, I'll say it again. Sleepy Salvage is as Sleepy Salvage always has been. Slow moving, hardly changing, and ready to catch whatever scraps wash ashore, myself included. After these past few weeks, crunching hours into minutes, it's almost surreal to return here to such a sedate pace. The events of the murder mystery, if I can be so crass as to call it that, are only days behind us. Nevertheless, the Nodding Poppy has its volunteer clinician back, as well as the strange creature that he retrieved from the lighthouse all those months ago, each bolstered and burdened by our encounters in Regalport. While Luca and N have returned home, it seems that we are also accompanied distantly by Damon, who has exchanged his lodgings in Gold Dragon Regalport for Gold Dragon Salvage. He'll be traipsing into the hills in search of a monster for us to fight, as per Luca's request. There seems to be a tension between them, but, well, nothing like monster hunting to smooth things over. Before then, Bruno Saltbeard has work for me to do. I only just placed a mailbox on my boat and returned to find it packed to the brim with notes from the townspeople. That's hardly sustainable, so I am glad that I prompted Bruno to hire another arcane tinkerer. The new hire should be here shortly with his family in tow, and I hope they are prepared to hear all about the exciting news of salvage, like the new baby. And the new baby. And did you hear about the new baby? It is a lucky baby to be born into so peaceful a place. Meanwhile, conversations on my boat, well, they are worlds away from this mundaneness. I am, for lack of a better word, haunted. I had hoped that my boat would bring a sense of safety that Regalport did not, but alas, my mind follows me everywhere. And apparently so does N, as I was not given long to brew in my own fear before they showed up with breakfast and Luca to follow with dinner. So, I cracked open the whiskey I stole from Warford's house to share with the crew as we consolidated our information. Some insights into Myraldine, accused traitoress, and the subsequent rot in Regalport. Despite all our efforts, I have little to say on that front, which is enough to give me a headache. We received further context for what happened to Luca, which is adequately horrific. Forced to ingest Dream Lily, stabbed, kidnapped. Thankfully, N could find the words to comfort him, as I could only apologize. And N told us about Shan. The towers, and beneath them the cogs, and beneath those the ruins, and there, sleeping, a beholder. Now, I only just learnt what a beholder was a few weeks ago, and only last week learnt that it was connected to the members of the Snapdragon cults through magic so innate that I couldn't detect it. N says that the cult are trying to create some sort of host, and that there is an emissary of the beholder, who N assumes is Ilanis de Fjallan, and then there are the emissaries chosen, which includes Edmund Beckett, and explains why N couldn't read his mind. Perks. Beholder perks, I'm not sure. And while this sort of arrangement is reminiscent of patrons and warlocks, it is by far the strangest I've heard of, seeing as neither party have a say in their creation. No, it seems that the eye in N's head now behaves as a patron, severed from the beholder, that also did not elect to be a power source. It is, after all, asleep. And it is only thanks to N's vigilance and the eye's survival instinct and a series of positive interactions that this warlock-patron bond has not self-destructed, making N an anomaly among anomalies. But who's surprised, really? Well, the cult, I imagine, who have been since informed of N's existence. A successful host. That means something. Lucky for them, it appears that N plans to return home. Hate to say I told you so. Realities such as these make me glad for salvage, that it is steadfast and unchanging and sleepy in only the most harmless of ways. Yes, salvage, at least, is the same. Except that's not quite right either. The lunch bags at my doorstep are new. The home-delivered food from Secret Elsa, they are new. Letters from friends and the fact that I am able to check them, that is certainly new. Yes, a letter from Varys Greenleaf, not informing me of my impending doom or stormy airships or anything more dire, but just saying hello. And the constant vigilance of N through company and jokes and them defiantly taking a nap on my couch that turned into a sleepover, that sort of stubbornness that makes the eye their ally. That's new. And Sovereign's Luca, his charm is not new, as insufferable as it is, but the revelations he forces me to face with his strange sort of gratitude, the sort that I can't deny, that he is alive thanks to my efforts. That is new. It is hard to reject such things, so let me reassess my mantra. Sleepy salvage is as salvage always has been, except now They are here. They are new. So perhaps salvage is unchanging. But perhaps we are not.
You like us.
We pick up on the 12th of Nim as the sun rises bright and warm. Summer skies over the Jenkins workshop. And our three who have been sleeping there. So, what would you guys like to do? The day is yours.
Who's first to wake up?
Fight me for it.
I don't
I
think
think-
it's Willow, because Willow had a point of exhaustion before, so I think it's probably
Yeah.
you, Luca.
And I was
Yeah.
also the last to sleep, so
Yep.
Yep.
In which case, I will wake up and tiptoe upstairs and start preparing what breakfast I can with leftovers.
Yeah.
Oh, can I ask Luca to do a perception check before he goes upstairs?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, sure.
Part of me going upstairs involves checking on my crew. Sorry, my companion. Crew's not my word. Perception.
Oh, okay,
15.
cool. Well,
15!
that's
15 's
yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
easy. Other than the fact that Willow is asleep in a hammock as opposed to going up to their bed, you also I think see fish dog carcass laid out on the workshop table,
My baby.
split open, but like definitely placed there like it's going to be fixed.
Oh good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fish dog is on the operating table.
Beep boop.
It's fine.
That's all. I just thought
Very-
Luca would like to know.
Yes,
Yeah.
you would.
But yes, you managed to go upstairs and whip up some, like, toast and leftovers.
Yeah.
There's always
So-
bread on this friggin' boat.
Wow. Okay. God.
You
There is.
constantly go buy bread.
Yes.
It's good to have.
It's a staple.
It's incredibly versatile, says Willow to Damon. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Whip it up, magic man.
Yes, sir.
Who's the next to wake up? N?
Yeah, I think N wakes to the smell of breakfast, a bit bleary. Like, they've spent so much time in the Poppy, in the hotel, and this is a new place that they haven't slept in a little while.
Yeah.
Like, where am I? What's that smell? Oh yeah, I
feel
drank
the
really
gentle-
good whiskey last night. It's coming back to me now.
Do you want to roll a constitution check? See how
how
you're
I'm feeling.
managing that? Because you definitely drank
Yeah,
the most out of anybody last night because
Probably.
you were enjoying yourself.
yeah, probably should see how that's going.
Ooh.
You have a bit of a headache.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. And then I try to move and I realize I have been snoodled by Luca. I'm wrapped
Oh.
up in a blanket.
Fully burrito.
So probably what happens is like I wake up bleary and I try to get up and I almost roll directly off of the sofa because my limbs
Yep.
are not free, but my momentum
Yep.
is. So I try to like get up.
Yeah.
Since we're on the boat, I imagine Luca, it was very firm in tucking the blankets
Yeah.
in to keep N from rolling off the chair.
Can you do a check to see if you do roll flat in your friggin' face?
Dexterity
we put this to the
check,
dice?
then.
Thanks.
Find out. Absolutely, 100%.
Yes. Good.
I had a feeling a 1 was going to be rolled to me very early on in this session, and there it is.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Oh,
Funk.
that
D&D.
one, you
Yeah.
fully roll out of bed and fall on your face. Willow make a perception check with disadvantage because you were asleep.
I
See if
love
you
it.
hear your friend.
Hitting the deck.
Okay, disadvantage and
Luca hears the
perception?
smack and is like,
Yeah.
En's awake.
Wow, you almost rolled a nat 20 on that.
11 is enough.
Yeah, okay, I think N hits the ground and Willow sits up abruptly. Just immediately
I think
upright.
it's less of a less of a sit up abruptly and more like what fell over.
There's just a lump of blanket with white white hair hanging out, face down on the ground.
Oh no,
Can I see if-
face down.
Can I see if no, the hammocks are made to handle like a swing, right? Or should I check if I
Yes.
fall out of my hammock too?
I think.
Oh my god, please.
I think because you have not been snoodled, you
Yeah.
are
Okay,
able
I'm
to
safe.
move.
And you're
fine.
like
Also,
familiar.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, you're used to
good.
this,
Good.
and
So I
not
can
so
just-
much.
You just hear a disgruntled groan rumble up from the pile of blankets and white hair.
Willow leans over the hammock and good morning.
Morning. I think you see like the bottom half like scrunch in like an inchworm and like to wiggle their way out of the blankets.
Oh my god.
One arm bursts out, the other arm bursts out. They manage to shake off the blanket.
Why do you have this larvae way of waking up in the morning?
I mean, it wouldn't have to be like this if I wasn't snoodled by some paladin.
Snoodled and hungover.
Yeah.
Truly.
Oh my god.
It's a combination.
Willow's just watching you. Willow could help, but Willow's just going to watch you.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Let me have the dignity of finding my own way out of this.
Dignity. Okay.
It's such a strong word for it.
It's okay. I know I don't have any dignity left.
I think while you're moving, Willow's going to just like start talking as if you haven't just hit the deck like a sack of shit. No, like plop back and think, say out loud, how's your head? After the whiskey, not after hitting the deck.
Thank you for specifying. It's about what you'd expect after I indulge myself, but I'm fine.
So you won't be taking the day off then?
You want me to?
Hmm?
I can hang around here.
No.
It's not like I have a job lined up.
I have plenty to do, so your actions are your own. I was just wondering what you'll be up to today.
Nah, well, barring any other obligations or suggestions, I was probably going to pop back into Regalport. I mentioned drinks with Brina. She was talking about doing that this weekend, so I just figure I'll go and confirm. Have to pick something up from the office anyway, so... Ben's folding the blanket and trying to tuck it back onto the sofa. Still sitting on the floor.
Yeah, I think Willow's got their hands behind their head and is just kind of like letting the hammock sway, like looking at the ceiling. So you're visiting Regalport?
Yep.
Drinks would be good.
I think at this point, Luca, you pop your head downstairs and see your two friends are awake, and you can announce that breakfast is ready.
Am I interrupting?
Does Lucas say
Lucas
that?
says, with the squeak of the stairs straining under his weight as he tries to be stealthy.
Impossible. No, I believe this could be a group conversation. And looks to Willow.
Willow has that little like zigzag mouth of like, Luca. But it's okay. They just slept it off.
Yeah. I want to like get a check on Willow's vibe.
No.
Never fucking
Willow's going to
mind.
hop out of the hammock.
Got a
Oh.
hangover.
Wait.
Start
yeah.
the day. What?
You need to deceive us or...
I'm doing fine, persuade.
Fingers crossed. Okay, the one time
Ha!
you roll well
Willow's
in a
normal.
persuasion check.
Willow's normal. They seem to have woken up peppy and they are going to follow the smell of yum delicious leftovers, but they seem unfazed.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
So, drinks. Should I be,
No. It's breakfast.
over breakfast. We're cutting to breakfast and has breakfast. And they're bringing up drinks with Brina.
Yeah, and Luca assumes you mean you would like a drink now.
Well, I cannot fault him for that one. But I'm talking about drinks with Brina specifically.
Sometimes they say that having drinks in the morning helps with the symptoms of a hangover.
Yeah,
Because it makes it easier to ease out of
they
the...
do say that.
So you can have one.
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Luca.
Dr. Luca.
Anyway, should I be inviting your charming ass to drinks with Brina, or are you
Me?
planning to sit it out? Yes, Luca, you.
Oh. Am I allowed?
You were on the case with us, and I'm inviting Willow, so I think you could put the pieces together.
Luca nods. Spoon in mouth. Giant smile.
Besides, it's supposed to be a celebration, so the more the merrier, right?
Could we, Well, it's going to insight as they say this. Would you mind if we, could we invite Damon?
Luca raises a brow like, why?
And seems curious but unsurprised, I think. Peer over at Willow. Almost like they're expecting a little bit more context, but
Oh. Well, if I am invited,
wasn't
it
he
seems...
against being involved in the case? Not that I'm saying he won't come. I'm just wondering if he would be interested in being involved with us, since this is kind of a post-case celebration.
I suppose he did assist us at the end.
I was under the
He
impression
did assist.
that he had been assisting the entire time, just on the other side of the whole Madani common folk dichotomy.
Yeah. Oh, your wording makes Willow raise an eyebrow at you, but okay. Willow would just say, he helped considerably, even though I didn't give him any context for how he was helping until the end. But nevertheless, I would, whether he rejects or not, I would still think it right to invite him.
And shrugs. Oh, I think you would know better than either of us at this point. I have no problem extending the invitation. Luca?
Good. It should be fun. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Willow wouldn't say that. They're looking at Luca. I forgot that he didn't give his...
Oh.
He's the reason I've chucked an insight check, actually.
Well, it's not up to me, is it?
It is, partly. If I'm going to ruin your evening by inviting him, then I might consider.
It would take a lot more than that to ruin my evening. Luca shrugs, like, do as you please.
And shrugs. Might as well.
He did help, so...
Okay, well, should be fun. Willow's going to move on from that, because it's, like, now...
Yeah.
Weird. Not weird, it's just... Anyway.
Subject has ended.
Yes, so you're going to Regalport today. Willow will continue to tell Brina, and,
Yeah, did you need me to pick you anything up? Either of you?
Hmm. Luca makes a
I think-
face.
What? What kind of
Uh,
face?
I guess you could check to figure it out.
Talk.
What kind of face? Can you give us a description?
Like
It's a description of the face.
Yeah.
disconcerted.
Something wrong?
I was going to make a joke, but it was in poor taste for myself. So
Ah, look at that. Man's got a filter.
Finally, Willow's pulled out a piece of paper and they've started writing something. And while they're writing, would you mind not picking something up perhaps dropping something off.
Sure.
They wave it around quickly so that the ink dries fast, and then fold it, and just I don't know, put it in. I don't think they have envelopes handy, so just gonna
They
probably
sell
chuck it in one of
envelopes
the.
at. They have envelopes
it's
at the
okay.
post office. It's fine.
I'm sure
We'll
someone
just
dumped off
put
a
it
note.
in
That was
another
in
piece
a-
of paper.
Yeah, it's just easy. I'm just handing it
Yeah.
to N now, and it's
I'm
when
delivering it. It doesn't need an envelope.
Yeah, when it look, I imagine Willow put it in like a small old envelope and has like just kind of crossed out the name and put
Just
Barris
take the
Greenleaf on it.
take the envelope Varys sent his note in
I wanna
and
keep it.
recycle it.
I was going to, but I want to keep it.
Yeah, I thought so.
So, yeah. So it says Greenleaf on it.
Yeah, can do. I remember where he lives.
Did we invite Riker to drinks? Sorry, the High Prince.
Somehow, I think not.
Well, you never know. I feel like this is a situation where you could send an invitation to see what happens.
It gets cut in half by Thorani before it makes it to the prince himself.
High Prince, and don't disrespect him.
I solved the murder that could have ruined the Thorani and High Prince relationship. I can do whatever I want. What, is the Thorani assassin here right now?
They might be. You don't know.
No, hasn't killed me yet, so I obviously haven't crossed the line far enough.
Yet. Lucas starts looking around like, ooh, where are they?
Well, it's just eating big mouthfuls, watching the two of you.
I think on that note, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, we can move on with the day.
No, I think we can move on.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, Anne and Luca depart from the Jenkins workshop. Willow sets down to work. Luca is going to go work with Seeker Elsa today.
Yes, sir.
And Anne is making ready to head out to Regalport.
Yep.
So, Luca, can you roll me a medicine check, please?
Yes, sir. Oh, good start.
14!
Not bad, not
14.
bad.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good progress on learning how to use a herbalism kit.
Yeah.
Okay. Willow, give me a tinkering check. You no longer have a point of exhaustion, so you're good.
Yes. Tinkering. Yeah. Oh, damn.
Oh, magic!
That's pretty good. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
You've gotten back into the swing of your work,
Can I?
and you've...
Could I have used that to repair Fish Dog?
No.
No. Okay. I did that after work.
Gonna be a whole
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
This is about work performance, not your personal projects. You
Yeah.
technically don't need to make a check to repair Fish Dog. That's only if you want to upgrade Fish Dog.
Ah, I see.
But yes, you are making good progress with doing your rounds of picking up stuff and starting to see to all your backlog of work.
Mhm.
Okay. And you're able to sort of palm bits and pieces of like spare material.
Ah, yes.
Waste not, want not.
Salvage.
Yep. It's in the name. Which case, now we follow N.
Yes.
What are you up to?
Well, first things first, I suppose. It'll be Audrey heading to check in with Brina, as Anne said they would.
Sure.
So they'll head over to Regalport and find their way to the Metanoia office, which is quite a familiar route at this point.
Yep. You arrive, I would say mid-morning to late morning. I assume you, went back to the poppy and
Yeah,
cleaned yourself up and so on.
for sure. Yep. Brush my teeth.
Celia. Yep.
Don't want to show up to Brina smelling like whiskey again.
Yeah.
Again.
That's for the weekend.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Celia's there, Brina's there. Yeah. You want to roleplay this out, or should it just be a passing?
Oh, Audrey's got more to ask than just invite drinks, so...
Sure.
Yeah, so Audrey might ask to go speak with Brina in her office. After
Sure thing.
talking about, drinks, and you're both invited, and might invite some other friends. We'll see how the cards fall.
Yeah, Brina knows a place. Be able to meet up on the 14th in the evening. It'll be fun.
Yeah. But yeah, and then after the excitement of that, Audrey her energy kind of settles a bit, and she has the is kind of pointing towards the office with her vibes.
Yeah, sure. Brina guides you in. So yeah.
How's the office looking? Is it cleaned up from the mind map of the murder mystery and all its trimmings?
I think it is certainly less cluttered than it was before. The various bits of evidence have been taken down, and there's it looks like Brina is largely in the process of doing all the paperwork to complete the documentation of the case and all that, which is less pressing. So
Yes.
it can happen at a slightly slower rate.
Good.
So, Miss Audrey, what did you want to talk about?
Audrey's kind of idly started picking through the paperwork, just busying her hands, and drops it immediately upon being spoken to.
Yes. Well, I'd hate to sour our celebratory drinks with loose ends. So I was hoping I could find closure on one thing.
Of course. Ask away.
Well, was it Tassie who was blackmailed into tearing that spell scroll at the auction hall?
No, that wasn't her. That was one of the artists who was exhibiting at the time. I believe that. Let me check my notes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
We don't know yet.
Okay. Yeah, it was your boy Lachlan.
I'd be okay with that, honestly.
Oh my god.
It was the Thranish painter Cornelia Harmon, I believe. She was being threatened. Her family was being threatened.
You know how they say hindsight is 20/20? I did notice some suspicious behavior surrounding her, but I wasn't sure what to make of it at the time.
I wouldn't blame you for not noticing. It's one of those tiny little details that, honestly, can get lost pretty easy in the shuffle, but it's my job to notice tiny inconsistencies.
And you're certainly good at it. In that
Oh,
case,
thank you.
was there anything that I should know about Cassie's involvement?
Well, I believe that she was known as a breach, having accepted bribes and so on, and possibly being one of the people that talked a bit more than necessarily prudent. So, I don't know that she was involved herself in anything, but I can't say that she was not involved.
Of course. That's okay. It's just nice to know what's what.
Rena nods. For what it's worth, I think if she had known what was going on, she probably wouldn't have let it slide.
I didn't know her very well, but she definitely didn't seem like the kind of gnome that wanted to get anyone hurt.
Rena nods. No. Anything else I can tell you about to put your mind at ease?
Well, maybe the opposite. I hope you aren't being too hard on yourself about not being able to follow up on my, personal little leads.
Nah, I know when certain things are out of my league, but forewarned is forearmed, as they say.
She being honest.
Yeah, she's being honest. On a 19, you think that she might have spoken to some people about possibly preventing these sorts of incidents from happening in the future.
Aw.
She might have taken some extra steps, but it's one of those things where she very much knows, like, okay, well, I can't chase him all the way back to Sharn.
Yeah.
And like I can.
Yeah, honestly, on the back of that, Audrey's like,
Well, their HQ is in Sharn anyway, far from Regalport. But I know a way you can help me all the same.
Oh?
Well, I was thinking, maybe you could write me a letter of introduction or recommendation from, like, one Madani to another. Vouch for me. So maybe I can get in the good graces of another Madani down the line?
Yeah, sure, I'll be your character witness. I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna have to be honest about your, tendencies.
What, my tendency to solve crime and save victims? I'm fine with that.
Your tendency to bend the rules.
I'm kidding, detective.
Just making sure you know where I stand.
I would expect nothing less. Just
Sure,
make sure to
Miss
get my
Audrey.
good side.
Oh, you have plenty of good sides.
Oh, you flatter me.
Yeah. Rena will write you a letter of introduction for House Madani agents.
might pick locks and antagonize witnesses, but overall, pretty good at their job.
I think it's probably phrased something like, upholds the spirit of the law, if not the letter. Like the spirit of follows the spirit of justice, if not the letter of the law, or something like that.
That's
Thank
so
you.
cool.
Thank
That's a
you.
tattoo, Rena.
Right? That's
That's
a
so
byline.
Yeah.
Banger. And you're a poet? Wow.
Spend enough time around artists, it's rubbed off.
Oh my gosh.
Look, you have to be, when you're writing reports, you have to be a little bit good at bullshitting.
Yeah. Truly.
But yeah, all good.
Cool.
All right. Yep. And Audrey will say that.
Yeah.
Take that with thanks.
Yeah, in which case Brina says, I'll see you on the weekend then.
Yeah. See you then, detective. Don't work too hard.
You too, Miss Audrey.
She gives a little salute and sees herself out.
You've got other errands to do in Regalport.
Yes. Well,
Are you hand delivering the letter to Varys, or are you just dropping it off at a post office in Regalport?
it doesn't have a
An
proper
envelope?
address on it. Even if it did.
It probably need to go to his house.
Yeah, even if it did, ends in the mood where they want to drag their feet a little. So they're
Hmm.
dallying around Regalport, and that will include hand delivering the letter, I think.
Okay.
Did Varys say he'd moved out of his niece's
No.
place?
No.
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 Okay, just giving them space, keeping himself
Yeah.
busy. Okay.
Or minding the kids is, I think, what Zeke elaborated to say. Like,
Yeah,
instead of
okay.
he's been like
they're
taking the
out,
kids out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing uncle things.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Good. Love him. Thank you.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, you take
Yep.
a cab over to the Greenleaf residence because it's quite a ways away from.
Yep.
Regalport is a sizable
It's
town.
a city. As much as N is willing to walk, maybe not that far.
With your little legs.
Yeah, it'll take me like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll
But yeah.
find their mailbox and probably pop it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm caught by someone
Nope.
as I put it in the mailbox.
No, but
child.
I think you're able to pop the note in and continue roaming around
Yeah.
as you please.
Yep. So, and like does one lap as they consider. They just talk to their like upstanding Madani lawful ally.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well check in the other side of the spectrum too.
Oh.
So they haven't talked to Beast in almost like literally a month at this point.
Yeah.
Last time they
no
talked,
crimes were happening.
Mm,
you know?
No, I wasn't doing any
Uh-huh.
crimes specifically oriented to Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so might as well tell Beast that I am not dead. So yeah,
All right.
high time.
Kai time.
Or Kime.
Sure,
Hmm.
whatever.
You wend your way back to the Pirate Exchange and to the Vis-a-Visage, the hair salon that is also a front for the changeling criminal informant, Vis.
Yes. What does anything strike me as different from the outside or from a general look at the place?
Make a perception check. Seems about normal.
All right. Well, I think Kai's in the mood to go in the back door. So
Okay, yeah.
that's a quick cursory look through the window at the front just to make sure it's still operational and there's like the usual business going on, and then we'll
Mhm.
work around to the back and go inside
Okay.
and sit himself in his usual place where he just waits like a shadow for Reese to come into the back room and realize he's there.
I think you enter and Vis is already there looking over the books. He's more masculine today, but same fabulous eyeshadow and
Of course.
makeup. And Vis says, well, look who's darkening my doorstep today. It's been a long time, Kai.
I've been occupied.
Quite. I heard a little birdie told me that your other faces have been very busy lately. Something about a Donnie or a murder. Hope you've been keeping your hands clean in your other jobs.
Kai just stares at him. Is that a problem?
Well, it's only a problem if you make it my problem.
No intention to.
And it's as good as gravy. But hey, if you're looking for more lucrative work than the occasional impersonation and casing a joint, well, I have some friends who make for good long contract work.
My ears are open. I don't suppose that Captain Frostroot has made any further appointments considering the news lately.
Oh no, the good captain is plenty busy on her own. I'm talking about some other friends. Friends who are keeping a close eye on the situation. You know that my business model prefers to keep things bloodless and running smooth.
Of course.
Well, these are people with the same principles, at least in terms of keeping things running smooth and business as usual.
Kai gestures his hand, like, continue.
You might need to do a little extra to impress them and get a better job, but from what I hear, you've been doing pretty good work.
As I understand it, I have been impressing people. Continue.
Well, does that mean you're interested?
I'm listening.
It's an in or out, darling. Yes or no?
You can grant me no further information before I make a commitment?
Are you interested in the meeting, or would you prefer to sticking to petty crimes?
You can't bait me, Vise, but I am interested.
Well, good to know. I'll send word up the chain then.
Then
I'll let you know, neutral location for a visit.
Very good. Then I will keep my eye peeled.
Good to hear. As irregular as your schedule is, you have been pretty reliable when you do work for me.
Kai nods. When I take a job, I see it through. You can count on that.
He smiles. And I think that ends that interaction.
Can Kai ask something on his way out?
Sure.
Do you know the name Riavet Narco?
Sounds Redrin?
Kai just stares, not giving any further information.
I'd have to check my books. But there is only really one thing that Redrins are known for in our line of business.
Which is?
Don't know him personally. Why, trade of Redrin goods, of course.
Kai nods. Just wanted to hear Vise spell it out. And with that, I think Kai's just gonna turn to leave, because Kai's not one for his pleasantries.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
Yep. Fair enough.
Kind of makes me feel better about myself.
Kai does the bare minimum of social interaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, you do waste no time, huh? Thanks, old
Mm.
boss. Hey, boss.
I'm a freelancer. I'm versatile.
Yeah.
That's
Look,
a word
you-
for it.
Freelancing is all about the hustle.
Yeah, truly.
We've all gone back to work. Exclamation mark.
Back to business.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, no. I'll keep my eye peeled.
Yep.
And my other eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. You're gonna do some errands while you're in town? Anything else?
I'm trying to figure out how long En's going to spend in Regalport, because now they're at the point where they don't really have any quote-unquote pressing
Mm-hmm.
chores to do in Regalport. All the other stuff they can think to do in Regalport can wait, or is waiting now on other communications from a particular changeling. That's not me.
Mm-hmm.
But En's...
Whoever could that be?
I don't know, Luca. En's just started wandering again, dragging their feet, definitely dallying in Regalport.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know the other thing they want to do is in salvage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think make an intelligence check to distract yourself. This is a how long can you keep popping new things up into your periphery before you have to circle back.
I need to do this, and I need to do this, and
And like you're out in Regalport, you may as well go get lunch. Like, you know.
yeah, just go get some lunch around here, do some window shopping.
I've always wanted to look at that art boutique.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always.
Mhm.
Let's go run my thumb over some paintbrushes for a bit.
Yeah.
You
I
might
think
be
you- I
traveling
think,
soon. Need to look
yeah.
at your clothes.
Yeah. I think you do a lot of window shopping. You do you want to pop by Jaylee's?
You know what? Yeah.
Oh my god.
I rolled a 15, which I feel like I get to distract myself a lot.
You do.
So,
You basically get to spend most of the day out.
yeah. So, yeah, I'll stop by Jayla's, check in,
Yeah.
make sure Edmund
Yeah.
isn't there, because that really ruined my day and distract me real good.
No.
I need to commit another
No,
murder.
it's-
Sorry, Brina, you're gonna have to amend my recommendation.
No, Jaylee is doing fine. She got your letter and was going to send us a reply, but things came up.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's heard about the case and everything through the newspapers, mostly the Herald, because that's reliable.
Yeah, the reputable one.
Yeah.
You're reading the scuttlebutt, I'd have to take you aside. We'd have to have a talk.
Jaylee's like, oh no, they absolutely just make stuff up whole cloth.
Don't they ever?
Jaylee has a copy, but it's to be used for like paper mache models to build the play on top of.
Good girl.
Yeah, I think you and Jaylee just chat. Do you tell her that do you tell her about the Nothic?
But maybe not today. I think
Fair enough.
I think I just skirt around it and like basically like I think I kind of tell her that she wasn't like personally in any danger, but she did help me solve what was really going on. And like yeah, just kind of skirt around the gory details.
Okay, I'm gonna make a deception check.
Is it
She's gonna make an insight check.
okay?
Well, she
honey.
didn't roll very well. She believes you. Why wouldn't she?
Yeah, why would
You're-
she?
You're so nice to her.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm not technically lying. I'm just not telling her
Yeah.
about the part where Alonzo turned into a nothing and I beat the shit out of him in the murderer's basement. I'm just not telling her that part. I don't feel like she has to know that.
That is kind of a need to know basis, something.
Yeah. She
Or
is.
want to know.
She is not an adventurer like you.
Yes. He doesn't need to alarm her. None of this. No
Yeah.
problem.
I mean, and she also doesn't seem that broken up about like, not having the sort of conundrum of do I sell to this person or not being taken off her hands entirely.
Yeah.
And I assume you just say, oh, Alonzo just went back. Alonzo is back in Sharn.
Yeah. Alonzo's
fell
out of the
through.
picture.
Yeah.
Considering the dirt I dug up about the whole situation,
Yeah.
he just bailed, you know.
Yeah.
Bailed right to the execution block. His head was bailed
Bailed
from his
from left.
shoulders.
I know you do not say
No,
that to
I don't know.
Jaylee.
This is N's internal running commentary. As they're like,
Yeah,
Like, here's what I could say to her.
but I won't.
surprising
Because
everyone,
I-
N does have a filter. This is all the shit that
No.
doesn't come out.
This does not surprise me at all. N is thefilter.com.
Yes. Yeah, but I think N's also like, I haven't quit being your agent. I'm gonna figure something out about your sculpture.
Aw.
Jaylee's like, oh, it's fine, and I'll probably put it on auction, just like regular, instead of it being a big event. It happens all the time.
Like N's like, oh, it's a race then. I got it.
Jaylee has a little startled, and it tries to dissuade you from going out of your way, but it just ends up being like a fun little interaction.
Yeah.
You are more than able to stand your ground against her
Yeah.
and insist.
It's like, hey, I'm the one who killed, deterred your last prospect. Might as well give it a shot.
Yeah.
You're so cute.
That could be pretty persuasive.
Pinches your freaking cheeks.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So. Then you leave Jaylee's, and do you do anything else aside from window shopping and?
I think Anne is like specifically gonna window shop for ingredients for curry. I don't think they're gonna buy it yet because they don't intend to make the curry today, and they want it to be as fresh as possible. The ingredients,
Yeah.
but they just want to shop
Yeah.
around and see where they can get the best
Yeah.
stuff while they're out here.
Yeah. Sure. Make an investigation check.
So, right.
Okay. It's kind of like you're a bit spoiled for choice in terms of like what Regalport offers in terms of like imports. So I think like you spend an hour just wandering up and down the aisles, like looking at various things, but you don't really make much headway in terms of like what is the actual best to get here.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think it's just like like you are just browsing because you're not intentionally looking for things today. You're just kind of like making a note of where certain stalls are and so on.
Yeah, I also think what happens at that role is that, and like while picking through ingredients and thinking about making the particular curry they're thinking of making, is their brain starts sliding to the thing they're avoiding, and they keep having to pull it back, and it's not
Yeah.
helping with the search for ingredients, because it's like, hey, this thing nagging in the back of your brain, watch it get louder and louder.
Yeah. Yep.
This is a poor choice of
like-
distraction.
Yep. You fully space out.
I'm just staring
in
at
front
a
of-
at curry powder for like
Yeah.
5 minutes straight, and then realize I'm still in my body and I'm standing here in the aisle
Yeah.
staring at the same packaging.
It's like you were trying to read the ingredients list on a chalkboard and you fully read it 5 times and absorbed none of it.
Yeah. Just your local changeling dissociating in the grocery store.
Happens
We've
to
all been
everybody.
there.
Yeah.
Person behind the counter's been looking at you for the last 3 minutes, wondering if you're still here.
Like, do I need to call someone? Are they okay? Am I getting
Is this
robbed?
does this child belong to anyone?
Yeah. But then it's late in the afternoon, and you should probably head back to salvage, and your feet are a
Yeah.
bit tired anyway, and
Yeah.
you can't put it off any longer.
I've certainly been putting it off for way longer than I should have. So yeah, I'm just gonna start to make their way back to the ferry, and I think that as the camera's kind of following them, they pass through an alleyway, and when they come out the other side, they're Kai again, and he starts heading towards the ferry.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's like approaching and waiting, he takes a moment and kind of speaks to himself, mumbles to himself. I can speak with him. And then when we move to the inside of the ferry and Kai boarding the ferry, it's N. And N responds, no. If I can't do this myself, I don't deserve to ask him at all. They sit down and they start rolling a coin between their fingers, not to cast a spell, just as a coping mechanism, a way to gather their courage and focus as they bide their time on the ride back to salvage.
Yeah. You are still meditatively rolling a coin over your knuckles as you arrive at the Gold Dragon and salvage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yay.
And you...
Steal myself and go
for-
inside and ask for Damon.
Yep. Yeah. A message gets passed along, and Damon comes downstairs. Hey there, little white.
Hey, you're not gone yet.
Not yet, but we'll be soon.
Oh, good. I was hoping to treat you before you headed off into the wilderness.
Oh?
Care for... Well, have you had lunch? You having a snack situation?
Damon looks around. It's 5 p.m.
Too
I can
early?
eat.
Too early for drinks? Just food, then. Have you tried the quail stuff yet? It's really good. And it's gonna, like, start to wander out.
Okay. Damon follows you.
Yeah, so and we'll show him to the
In
quail.
The sense of like, yeah. Yeah. You can get a light round, like a couple of ciders at the quail.
Yeah. Little corner stall. I know the quail doesn't really have those, like, bigger restaurants, but, you know,
Yeah.
A booth.
Corner booth.
yeah,
Yes.
a booth. Something
Yes, there is a
resembling a booth. Whatever the quail has that
Yes.
resembles a booth.
Yes, you can get a little table in the corner and have a quiet drink with Damon and discuss things.
Yeah, and food. It is 5.
Yeah.
And it's
Yes.
not looking to get drunk again.
No. Yeah. It's like some chips and
Ah, yes, chips. Of course you would order chips. I remember the first time I saw you out alone in the wild, eating soggy chips in the rain. And it's not saying this. Again, this is
I
N's
know.
internal mind theater.
So, what's on your mind, little white?
Well, seems to me like won't be long before we're gonna have to think about the future. As a team, most likely.
Hmm.
Get the feeling Willow might have already spoken to you about some of this. You two have had a lot of alone time recently.
Willow speaks for themselves, yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh. You don't have to answer this right away. This is not a condition for my cooperation, but I was wondering what your brother is like.
Well, what's he like? Uptight? Nerd? Kind of a prick, really? But he's my brother, so you'll learn to live with him.
Of course. Think he's gonna be cut up about you being away so long?
I don't know that, I don't know that that's really the right
Question
thing
asked.
to ask about. Yeah.
I'm kinda trying to put it lightly.
Well, in the lightest of ways, I think you'll be damn happy to see me when I do show up. Or he'd better be.
After all this effort, trying to hitch 3 idiots to your wagon, you better be damn grateful.
Yeah. So what's this really about?
Well, I do have something that is conditional to me working with you in the future. Figure we might as well get it on the table now. You said you had the kinds of contacts who could check in on places like Willow's hometown, yeah?
He nods.
I'd like to cash in on that offer, but for me. For Charn.
He takes a slow sip and then says, "Sure."
Alright. And reaches into their pouch and pulls out an envelope. Starts sliding it across the table with the demon. Before I make any solid plans, I need to know the status of the establishment at this address. What kind of business is running there, who the current proprietor is, and any other information your contact can glean.
Damon looks it over, nods, says, "Sure, should be able to get that in a week or so. I'll send a message off tonight, and once I get back from my hike out in the mountains, should have a reply."
And nods. Great. Appreciate it. Oh, and this stays between us. You bring the note with the information to me, and me alone.
He nods. Got it. Well, thanks for the drinks, little white.
No problem. Thanks for the assist.
He inclines his head. Guess I'll see you in a week.
Maybe sooner.
He quirks an eyebrow.
Well, I don't know if Willow wants this coming from them, but Willow's planning to extend an invite to you.
For what?
Drinks. With, the Madani detective. We're all going out to celebrate after that grueling couple weeks.
This weekend?
As far as I know.
What a shame. I'm heading out bright and early tomorrow morning.
Oh, that is a shame. The monsters just can't wait.
Yeah. Town's a bit too small. I gotta go stretch my legs.
You are pretty tall. Don't even know how salvage contains you.
Just barely.
Bursting at the seams. You can hear a nail being pushed out of the boards right now.
Yeah.
Oh, guess
Well.
I'll let them know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good luck out there.
You too.
And does a little salute and starts to part ways.
Yeah.
Pays for the food.
Yeah. We'll do that off
Yep.
camera.
Yeah. And we'll, as soon as they're out of eyeshot of anyone who knows them, which is
Mm-hmm.
away from the quail, because people at the quail
Yeah.
know them,
Make a stealth check.
yay! This is salvage. Everyone is here all the time. Oh, yep, that tracks. That tracks. I think the fact, like, and was prepared. Okay, go
I
ahead.
think on a nat 1, instead of like being able to leave smoothly, you get accosted by like Ekka's daughter Toa,
Oh, just what I need, a child.
who like starts babbling at you about this and that, and asking you questions.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
So I think instead of a smooth exit, you sort of end up lingering in the quail until Damon leaves,
Oh,
Cool.
who flashes you a sympathetic look of like, got caught by a baby, huh?
And
Or
giving
like
a and gives a shrug like, I can't help that I'm popular.
oh my god.
Nerd.
But you do eventually manage
Yeah.
to extricate yourself.
Pry myself
I think-
out of the child's ramblings.
I think you just head to the beach. You're just
Yeah.
like, I can't do this.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna go and sit on the beach, and they were preparing themselves to ask the question. The fact that Damon gave them a timetable felt like a strike to the chest. It's like waiting to get in life. It's like waiting to get a call now,
Yeah.
and you know about when it's coming, and it's
Yeah.
a call that you're kind of anxious about.
Yeah.
And was like, maybe I would have preferred not to know that. I don't know now.
Damon
Too
ruins
late.
everything.
It's just kind of sitting there and staring out at the ocean, and kind of gripping one fist over the other because their hands are starting to shake.
Mhm.
And they're trying not to cry.
Bro.
Oh.
Ends crying on the beach.
Are we moving to the next day?
Cold hard sand. Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, I think all N's gonna do is gather themselves before they head back, so they don't
Can I
cry in
make,
front of
like, a-
anyone else.
Can I just make a random perception check to see if I notice that N has sad
Sad
when you
energy.
get back? Yeah.
If you want to, I'll let you.
Oh, son of a bitch.
You never know. And could. Oh.
No, it's just 8 is next to 20, so every time I roll an 8, I'm like,
Oh.
that could have been a 20.
Anything could have been a 20.
Yeah.
Probability.
Give you a chance? No.
No.
Give
Nah.
you a chance. Just kidding.
JK.
Yeah.
LOL.
They just seem like a little worn from being out all day.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
out for a long time. Day trip.
Yep.
Now they're tired and ready to sit down for a bit.
I think actually Luca will like chatter to them about everything he learned today.
Mhm.
Reinforce that knowledge. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, I think
cute.
it's a nice distraction to just hear Luca talk about the things he's
Yeah.
learned today from Elsa about medicine.
Yeah.
Nice to hear him talk, even if En's not fully
Yeah.
absorbing what he's saying.
Yep. Willow, do you want any scenes before we move on to the next day?
Yeah, because I think Willow wants to at least repair Fish Dog before sundown, or at least like before real duck.
Okay.
I think
This
part of
yeah.
Hmm?
Do you want to standard repair fish dog or upgrade fish dog?
I think standard repair for now.
Okay.
Because Willow, otherwise fish dog helps them a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm imagining like, can I fix it tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm imagining like Willow basically coming back from work and then like diligently working on fish dog. I imagine like that back view shot from the engine room, and then like fish dog floats up and is back and operational, and then
Yeah.
freaking beep boop of not realizing what happened to it. Lucky little thing doesn't have a brain
Nope.
or any memory of what any memory
God, I
other
wish
than
that
what
were
Willow
me.
has.
It is
That is
Luca.
you.
Oh my
that is
God.
you. Wow, lucky you. And I think only once Willow does have fish dog, they can sort of, it's like their boat opens up. Like they're
Yeah.
free to kind of go around their boat. They have the light from fish dog
Yeah.
and just the general company of fish dog.
Yeah.
Leftover soup to have, and they can kind of start clearing up, clear off their bed. Oh, move the table back to the table.
Yeah.
And sort of start filtering through things, but I think they're going to try not to get back into it
Mm-hmm.
as yet.
Yeah.
It's just that pile of stuff.
Yeah. You've had a full day of work, so
Yeah. And I
it's
think it would
it's
be-
a nice, easy evening, I would say.
Yeah. And fish dog, rather than like going out anywhere else, fish dog will kind of stay close to Willow's bed, and I think that's enough to let Willow have a sleep, not kind of get wrapped up in their own thoughts.
Yeah. All good. By the way, what did your note to Varys say?
Ooh.
That's what Willow's thinking about as they go to sleep. Their notes to Varys was like kind of quickly written before they could rethink it. It says, "Mr. Greenleaf, long time no see, and apparently much to catch up on. If you're free, the scrap bucket could use a visit from its old captain. I'm available in the mornings if you'd like to take her out for a spin. Thank you for writing, Willow."
Oh,
Cool.
you gotta let him go for a little spin in the harbor.
Yeah.
Doing wheelies with
Yeah,
Monty
I was
Python.
gonna say doing wheelies.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Doing wheelies on a non-wheeled vehicle.
That's the
It's
one.
impressive,
Rudderies.
really.
You know when you do those like spinnies in the boat to make really
Yeah.
big. Yeah, those are basically wheelies.
Because you're spin wheeling, like you're pinwheeling out of control.
Just like your life.
That's the note. Yep, that's the one.
Actually, your life's doing pretty good.
In which case, we cut bright and early in the morning, another beautiful sunny day, big fluffy clouds floating overhead. As Varys Greenleaf steps off the ferry into salvage.
Next day, he responds. Oh. He's probably so bored.
I think children don't leave much room for boredom, to be honest.
That's fair. You know,
I
like
was just accosted by a child, I should know.
you know what I mean.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's about 7 in the morning-ish.
Hmm.
How does Mr. Greenleaf find you?
I think Willow might have woken up around their usual time. So
Mm-hmm.
I think they usually. I keep changing it, but like, is it 6:30ish, 7?
Yeah,
And
it's
Probably
summer,
just-
so the sun rises earlier and earlier.
yeah, no earlier than 6 for Willow.
Yeah.
Waking. But they will wake at a decent time and probably just kind of start checking the outside of their boat. I think when Varys comes, Willow's like
Mm-hmm.
got the door open and they're in and out of their house, kind of just like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's out on the
ropes are
deck.
coiled and
Yeah,
there's
I
no
think
like leaf litter or whatever.
yeah, because Bruno and the crew kept the dry dock sponge kept like
Yeah.
the boat clear. I think Willow's like doing that re-rolling of like ropes and stuff in their way that
Mhm.
they like.
Yeah.
So they're just doing their own little thing around the boat, puttering around.
In which case, Yeah, you hear footsteps approaching and the voice of Varys Greenleaf calling out, "Good morning, Jenkins."
Willow perks, like visibly, openly. I imagine them popping up from like behind a crate, holding ropes and
Mhm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a notable perk and grin.
Mm-hmm.
That's a familiar face. Willow's just kind of like adjusting. And then waves back. I think they'll kind of like jog over to catch up with him.
Yeah.
Mr. Greenleaf.
He holds out his hand for a shake.
Ooh.
Do it, Mim. You know you want to. Do it for me.
I'm like, what dice do I roll to see if Willow manages to contain himself?
I don't
Roll
think you
to
can.
hug.
You don't think I can roll?
No.
Okay, it just has to come from Willow. I imagine, because I'm trying to see whether the hand being extended to them stops them or not. I think, okay, instinct
What instinct? Operate on instinct.
Instinct and momentum has Willow accidentally kind of barreled past the hand and hug Varys.
In which case, Varys returns the hug.
Yep.
It was like it was going to be a handshake into hug situation, and you just kind of bypassed the handshake entirely. In which case, like Varys gives you a hug, and like it's a greeting hug, and like a clap on the shoulder, and says, "You're looking well."
Willow realizes what they. I imagine it's Willow grabbed his hand and then like also hugged him, so it was just like in one fell swoop. And then when he reciprocates, they kind of will pull back, hands behind their backs, now hands in their pockets.
Yeah.
And after he says, "You look well," Willow will be like, "Good. You do too."
And he does. He looks. Every time you see him, it's been about a month. His cheeks have filled out like significantly. You can see like his clothes are no longer like baggy on him. They actually like are sort of. You can see sort of the return of musculature to him. He's been eating 3 square meals a day and doing plenty of walking around under the sun. Playing with children.
I think Willow does like
healthier.
Willow walks around him and like checks him over in like an impressed way, like with their hands in their pockets, assessing him like a vessel.
I think Varys looks a little bit self-conscious at that.
And Willow claps him on the arm. "You look strong."
I am regaining my strength, slowly but surely. His cheekbones are less severe now. There's a little more flush to his cheeks.
To prevent them still from like staring, Willow's going to sort of skip hop back to their boat.
Yeah, Varys follows you up. So you said something about taking the old girl for a spin?
Have you been out in the sea since?
Oh, not much time for it.
The kids?
Among other things, yes.
Willow squints at him. What other things?
Oh, well. I've been making up for lost time, catching up on what all has happened in the last, 6 years and then some. Practicing my sword swing.
Oh. Willow taps their pocket. That doesn't make any sense to him because they're... I don't know if he's aware that they have their party pockets on in these pants, but anyway. They'll say, maybe we can duel later.
I'd be up for a spar. Though I was thinking, since it's such a lovely day and the waters are nice and calm, why not do a spot of fishing?
Willow considers that. Has he brought stuff for fishing?
No.
Do I have stuff for fishing?
I assume yes.
Oh yeah, from last time, from when
Yeah.
we fished last time. Willow nods. They get a little bit of an idea, and they'll nod. Sure, that sounds good.
In
Where's
which case,
good?
what are
And
we? Yeah. In which case, what are we waiting for? Let's head out.
okay. Willow's going to. They aren't expected for work yet, but just in case, they're going to put the gone fishing sign that Bruno
Yeah.
gave them on the dock, like where their boat usually is.
Yes.
So, like, just in case anybody wants to know, literally gone fishing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And between you and Varys, you are able to make the scrap bucket ready and sail out into the bay, into the harbor of Salvage, out a little bit past the lighthouse and stuff, and find a spot that Varys recalls from his days of visiting Duncan, where it's good to find fish usually. There are other fishing boats as well out and about doing their regular catches for the morning. You find a space that's like a little slower, not as many fish, but it's nice. There's a nice brisk breeze. Skies are clear, early morning sun. It's still a little bit fresh instead of hot, so yeah.
That's like the nice little waves from the people in the other boat that like recognize the scrap bucket.
Yeah.
It's cute. I trust Varys will set up, and I'm imagining it's a fishing rod kind of.
Yeah,
scenario.
it's a rod and lure scenario instead of a rod and bait.
Yeah. Willow will kind of leave him to do that setting up while they make sure that the boat's not going to like float away while they fish.
Yeah. Yeah, you put down the anchor so that you can safely fish out on the sea without worrying about currents.
Yeah, I think Willow would have made it like a hot beverage too for the morning.
Yeah,
And brought it out
nice.
while Varys is setting up the fish and the lure and all that.
Yeah, nice cup of tea,
Mhm.
clear blue skies, fishing. What's better than this? Fishing with your uncle.
Oh. It's comfortable. I think Willow's surprised by the fact that they feel so comfortable, even with like what's on their mind.
Yeah. I think Varys is chatting about like what's been going on with the family, how Isabella's husband Jake has been back on shore leave. He's usually on a merchant ship and so on, which is why they're out most of the time, and he's been looking after the kids, having them run around Regalport, spending time with other kids. They're getting to be about the age where they're like, the oldest is going to start going to school in like a year or two, so it's been reading to them and all that.
No.
It's just like very mundane patter.
I imagine, yeah, it's all very low, small talk, and like Varys has a lot to catch them up on before Willow doesn't really have to say much. Like they're just happily listening to his updates.
Yeah.
And they'll pull up beside him, like leaning up against the side of the boat with their tea and with his tea, and say, so what's this about, a scandal?
Oh, I'm sure you must have heard about the attack on the Grand Auction Hall and all that. There was a murder and a huge palaver about it.
Heard bits and bobs. What information have you got?
I think Varys is going to make an insight check on you.
Fantastic. Oh, okay. Persuasion, though Willow's not putting a lot of effort into being a liar.
Yeah, evidently.
Yeah.
Varys gives you a little squint. Somehow I think you're more informed than I am.
Well, that's really a matter of perspective. But, yes, well...
Well, what?
Willow takes a long sip of tea, then sighs and goes, I was there.
Burying the lead a bit there. You could have said as much.
I wanted to see what you knew before your questions turned to me.
I think Varys kind of grills you a bit, like in a... It's like, stop leading me on, just talk to me, sort of thing. Of like, you don't have to be so smug or like so recalcitrant about being around for a major event.
Well, he's going to do that, like, gentle, like, please surrender hands of, like, I didn't mean anything personal by it, I was just playing, like...
Yeah. Varys isn't really upset at you anything. It's just like a, come on.
Yeah.
The energy is, come on.
Okay, Willow will probably go on to elaborate in more like fun ways of like, indeed, I was in the same room as High Prince Rhaegar when he was attacked by undead.
And what were you doing at the time?
Trying not to be dead.
Varys laughs at that and is like, so what were you doing at the auction? And I'm just sort of asking you about the event. So how much do you tell him?
I think Willow says that they're there with Daemon and Luca.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to talk about anything Snapdragon-y.
Mm-hmm.
But they will probably mention, like, we were there just for the occasion, and then got kind of involved in the mystery itself, in the murder mystery itself.
Yeah. I think they'll ask about your involvement. So
they'll mention that Anne and Luca joined the Brina.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that Willow mainly kind of just operated on the borders of it, trying to follow their own leads and Willow will kind of sigh and, like, to varying degrees of success.
Varys is impressed by this. I don't know. Yeah, Varys has like all the appropriate reactions for a sympathetic listener, listening to like a pretty wild tale of events.
Yeah, Willow's not telling it in a way that's overly like. It could be a page worth of intel. Like, Willow's not actually saying much.
Yeah.
Like,
even so,
yeah, the synopsis, I'm sure. Even
the synopsis alone is pretty nuts. Of like, you don't even have to like pull up the drama that much because Varys has heard it from the newspapers. He's like, oh, your friends were literally working with the Madani detective to solve the murder mystery, and you solved it within 2 weeks. That's fast.
But we're kind of like,
you found out about the conspiracy with the Emerald Claw cult who were doing the heist, and then this other guy who like used that as an opportunity to murder a very public figure, and then you caught him within the week, despite like there being very little evidence for that. Wow, that's huge, you know?
Yeah. Willow doesn't mention anything about, like, I don't even think they mentioned Warford's name, or that they were the one that pursued Warford specifically. But just the shape of it is like, we were involved in this. So yeah, anything that Varys has heard in the paper, he can be like, oh, my friends are involved in that.
Yeah. Even just knowing that, he is impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, Willow's it's kind of washing over Willow, but they do like to see him like chuffed. So
Yeah.
they will sigh and then kind of like float their hand around. Either way, I've been left with many more questions.
Well, murder and such is a dark subject.
Yes, of course. And referring more to your former captain, well, current captain, High Prince, I suppose.
How do you mean?
I don't know what he's planning.
Well, I imagine that is somewhat the intent.
Yeah, of course. Do you know what he's planning?
Not yet.
Do you
But,
suspect you soon?
I'm sure within the month I should be receiving my new standing orders. For now, my orders were to get back into fighting trim.
Confident. Well deserved.
Well, it is thanks to you lot that I'm able to take that opportunity. I doubt I'll be serving as captain of a ship so soon again, but there's other things that are well worth the effort. The captain alone doesn't run a ship.
Aye, aye. Willow's going to clink the cup with Varys's.
Yeah. You
and
clink
sip and
mugs
then,
of tea.
yeah. Think again, this time while looking out at the fish.
Mhm.
So, since coming back, I trust you've been brushing up on your knowledge of the place and what all you miss, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
The sea dragons and the Thorani alliance. It was rocked recently, clearly.
Only in public. Pirates. We live and die by our reputations and what the public makes of us, especially here in Regalport. But true alliances are not so easily shaken. Merely appear to be.
Willow's gonna nod, and I'll ask Zeke, can Willow trust that as like an apt insight?
Yeah. That seems
So-
legitimate.
Yeah.
Of like this has been an alliance that's been going on for like nearly as long as Thorani have been independent. So one blip of like personal drama isn't going to sort of shake the institutional foundations,
Yes.
let's say.
Willow will probably add, so Meraldine has nothing to worry about her slung accusation.
I'm sure Thorani has plenty of sons. That one misplaced accusation is easily weathered. Besides, the killer was caught and certainly charged with impersonation and tampering.
So all's well.
All is well. Or well enough as it is.
Willow's got a squint as they're thinking.
What's on your mind?
They're thinking. I don't know what to make of Captain Frostroot.
Well, if it's any consolation, neither do I. I haven't met the woman yet. Varys completely loses a fish. Swears.
Oh. Willa kind of laughs and then goes back to thinking. What would a traitor be in this context?
Pardon?
Oh, yeah, I'll pose it to you. You would know. That came out wrong. Let me start again. What was I trying to say? In the context of the sea dragons, what would make a captain a traitoress?
Varys gives you a very sort of stern look. What have you heard?
I don't know much about Captain Frostroot.
That wisdom check was insight. You can also give me an insight check of your own to have Willow think about their own question.
Willow knows what they think. They're kind of just looking for Varys, but feel free to also.
Well, what does Willow think betrayal is in terms of the sea dragons?
God, I wasn't expecting to articulate it. Let me think. Betrayal could be anything that obviously operates against what the sea dragons as a crew are hoping to secure. And I feel like it depends whether Myraldine is betraying the entire sea dragons or like just the captain. The captain should reflect the values of the sea dragons overall. So Willow's thinking things like fostering different alliances, maybe being a plant from somewhere else, the way that Varys was going to be like a plant in Lyranda. The idea that she is doing stuff under the table from the sea dragons that might jeopardize them in some way. And then, of course, Willow has their own impression of what a traitor is based on themselves, which is like just operating in a way that doesn't align with your captain.
Yeah.
And thus the rest of your crew. Whatever that means. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, she's going to destroy the sea dragons or she's a dire shark or she's a Lyranda or whatever. It just means like... she could be... not have the crew as her leading action.
Yeah. That is pretty much it. That's sort of the main thing. Varys doesn't answer your question and instead presses on with, do you have reason to suspect Captain Frostroot of something?
I don't want to throw accusations around, especially when you're in near cahoots with the High Prince himself. Not until I have anything to work with. More to work with. I haven't even spoken to her. Well, I have, but not much. Not as myself. Not as Willow.
Varys tries to parse all of this and sort of shakes his head. Well, where did you hear an accusation?
Willow internally is like, why did I bring this up? It wasn't a reliable source. Let's put it that way. Is Varys still looking like he wants an answer, even if Willow says that?
I think if you say, well, it wasn't a reliable source, then he says, well, then I wouldn't put any stock in it if it's unreliable.
Willow waves their hand around. Rumors, they're not always completely baseless. Obviously. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Concerning thoughts.
Yeah. How good at you? Pardon me. How good are you at lying to High Prince Raga? By the way, can you see through you?
What kind of question is that?
Because I realize that me telling you all this is putting you in a tricky situation. And he's
Well,
you know.
the High Prince clearly thought that I was more than persuasive enough to act as a double agent.
Of course. Doesn't really answer my question, but
I don't think there is an answer I can give you.
I think Willow's going to sort of just like lean on the side of the boat and look out. It's hard to pass anything without giving more information away, so I think they're going to switch gears a little. They don't want to jeopardize anything with Varys. Like, give him information, put him on a weird spot before he's, trying to sort of repair his own life. And things like accusations about another captain, especially the one who has his boat, the boat that used to belong to him. Like, it's creating tension where there shouldn't be any. So I think Willow's going to switch gears. Speaking of rumors and catching up on everything, been wondering, you heard anything about those whispers of an alliance between Thorani and the others?
How do you mean?
Shall I take that as a no?
I think it's what are you asking? It's literally, what's the question?
Willow's going to point at the sky and then say, ages ago, I heard rumors that there was some kind of liaising between the Whisperers and House Thorani.
Oh, that's old news. I mean, there's been a bounty on Brightwind's head for near on a decade now, I would say. I'm sure Thorani have put in plenty of work to assure that his head has remained attached to his shoulders.
Question to Zeke.
Yes.
I believe that it was a rumor circulating, like a lesser known rumor within the past decade, wasn't it? Or is it like within my time there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like after I left, it was like something Thorani.
Yeah.
So what does Varys mean by old news in this case?
Old news in the sense of like Brightwind has made deals with Thorani to basically keep bounty hunters off him.
Was that wasn't during my time though, was it?
No, that would have been shortly after you left.
Great.
But because of the way information sort of flows around, there may be a degree of apocryphal rewriting of like, this is the reason why Brightwind hasn't been caught ever, is that
Thorani's always been watching out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, double checking because like I was like, is this? Yeah. All right. So Varys has they've been looking out for him for a while. It's like, well, no. Okay.
Well, they have been, but maybe not as long as he says they have.
Yeah. Okay. Willow will probably say, is that what they're saying?
That's what I've heard, at least. It is hard to come by, let's say, privileged information about Thorani.
Miller folds her arms and looks back at the sky. They're just thinking. Well, if what you said about alliances is true, then there won't be any shake along the line. Well, they just started mumbling to themselves about, like, Sea Dragon Alliance, the Rani Alliance, how that extends to the Whisperer Alliance. What is the Whisperer and Sea Dragon Alliance? Bragger's little comment about things with Lyranda, what that means for the Whisperer Sea Dragon Alliance is just like a big, like, web of stuff happening in Willow's head. Where Myraldine fits in all of this? Where Varys might end up fitting into all of this?
Mm-hmm.
So Willow's just kind of like, like, vacated the conversation while they had even thought.
I think, like, half a minute into that, Varys says, I can't hear a word you're saying, you're mumbling.
Oh.
Is this a conversation for me, or shifters only?
I don't know. Well, he just swats it away. Why are there no fish?
Sorry, Zeke didn't hear that?
Willow swats it away and says, why are there no fish? And, like, leans over the edge of the boat.
I don't know. You have a shot at it.
Okay, Willow will take a shot at it. What do I need to roll?
Roll a survival check. Hey, there you go. I think it takes like 20 minutes, but or so. But yeah, you end up catching 2 decently sized fish.
Oh my god! Imagining like the way Willow catches it the first time. It's like all of that like tense brain kind of ebbs.
Yeah.
It's just like the cheering and the reeling of like enthusiasm from both of them.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if any more conversation will come up after that, unless Varys has anything to say.
No. I think it just turns to the talk of fish and fishing.
Yeah. What to do with fish, what to eat, what to make.
Yeah.
And Willow would have asked, like, I think as we're heading out, Willow will, like, heading back.
Yeah.
Or packing the fish, whatever it is, scaling the fish. Willow will probably ask, so when is your next appointment with the High Prince?
No set date, but it should be within the month. I'll let you know.
How are you feeling?
Good. Feeling more myself.
I told the Port Authority to expect you. That doesn't mean anything. It was completely out of context. But nevertheless, the sign of confidence is there.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And I appreciate you keeping me posted. So, thank you.
Of course. Have you thought about what kind of favor you'd want from the High Prince?
At this point, don't let people be serial killed. But I am sure I can think of something else more specific.
I'm sure that's... I'm not sure that's within the High Prince's power. It's...
I was joking.
Like asking the tide to hold back is to try and control a city full of people.
Yes. I was kidding. Maybe I can challenge him to a sword fight. Out of raw curiosity.
That'd be an interesting sight to see. See how quickly he mops the floor with you.
Oh. He always snatches a fish off him.
Varys laughs as you like take away the like half cleaned fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lovely, pleasant morning.
Yes. And I do believe Willow would be getting the fish ready for that soup that they made last time. They're probably
Yes.
going to invite Varys to drop it off with them when it's ready.
Sure. Yeah. I think, yeah, you head back in, make your soup,
Mhm.
head with Varys to the Nodding Poppy for lunch.
You guys there?
Visit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Payback. For bringing me the casserole the other night.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, End's probably there, helping out around the poppy
Yeah.
like they usually do.
Yeah. Luca, make another medicine roll. Let's see how your studies have been going.
Yes. Me.
Damn!
Hey!
Nice. Me-
Luca.
That gets me to 30, doesn't it?
It does. It
Yeah,
does.
look
It,
at
it gets
gosh.
you to 31.
Yeah.
Overachiever.
You
Oh.
have successfully made a potion of healing. And you
Oh.
now are proficient with the herbalism kit.
Yay!
I'm
you
showing
show up just
everyone
as
my
you're-
potion.
Please, can we walk in just when you're like, potion, 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 potion?
Yeah.
Lucas showing
Yeah,
it
I
off.
think that's the scene.
Ding
Yeah.
dong.
Yeah.
Yeah. End's gonna talk it up too. As soon as they learn you've achieved something, they're gonna
Yeah.
be your salesman. You just give it a sales pitch to Varys and Willow, even though they don't have to.
Yeah.
This boy can make you so many health potions.
I think it's like we just sort of see the scenes in montage of you all reconvening, Varys greeting you, Willow providing the soup.
Luca gives Varys
Elsa.
a hug as well, just
Yeah.
so we know.
Yeah.
His is like a proper
There.
hug, I imagine.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
arms.
Yeah. I think, yeah, Varys gives you a hearty clap on the back, shakes En's hand,
Yeah.
and you have lunch together before Varys has to head back to Regalport and Willow back to work.
I'll take Bruno a cup of soup too, by the way.
Yeah.
Willow will mention something to Elsa in passing about
Mhm.
their long overdue promise of an alarm system or like anything else she needs. So, but it's kind of just like a casual. I imagine Elsa
Yeah.
at this stage is like, when you're ready.
Yeah.
Like, Willow's just
Just like, oh, we're both so busy. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, sort of thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, she's not worried about it.
Cool.
She knows you've had some busy months.
Yes. Varys being like, heard you guys were in a murder mystery. What?
I don't think he says it to that degree, but he does
No, I know.
say like over conversation and lunch is like, I heard you two were freelancing for Madani now. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Like, well, we're off contract now, so if you need me to commit a crime for you, I technically can.
Oh my god.
A little bit of friendly piracy.
Exactly. We're in Pirate Town.
And you probably also tell me that Damon's already gone, huh?
That depends. And might go and visit Willow tonight when Luca's away.
Oh, no, but like,
When
isn't
Luca's
Damon
away,
already
the
gone?
criminals
Oh, you're going to
Damon-
tell me, teams.
Yeah, David doesn't need to be here for me to pass the message along.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I was just, he's gone though, yeah, today.
Yes. He has.
Okay.
He has left.
Okay.
Damon has left the
village.
building.
Yeah.
But you haven't told me that yet, yeah?
Yeah, I think with you showing up with Varys and soup, and doesn't necessarily want to tell you now when we're in
Okay.
like this vibe.
Yeah.
They do plan to come and stay with Willow while Luca is away, actually. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do think Willow would ask her, sorry.
if they ask,
Like,
then
they'll
yes.
say it in the way of... Yeah, Willow will say it in the way of, like, after work, maybe we could go invite Damon.
Yeah.
Luca's face drops like, I don't get to come.
I think
Oh, I didn't know
Willow-
that you were going anyway.
Yeah, about
and-
that. I ran into him while I was doing my errands, and the topic ended up coming up. He's, as of, and looks around for a clock. About right now, he's left town in search of our little, chore. So, that was a decline, I'm afraid.
Okay. Willow has a little, like, oh, but then shrug. So it goes. They already knew he was going to head out, so just missed the window.
I'm sure we'll have plenty of times to share drinks with him later.
I'll save whiskey for him when he gets back. This is
Ah,
probably on Willow's way out. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
while they're packing up to take the soup to Bruno.
Yep.
And, themselves for their job.
Yeah.
everyone on the team needs a sip, I suppose.
You get it.
I get it.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
I think Luca, you've made clear to Elsa at least, if not Anne and Willow, that you have training with Nereus tonight.
Yes.
I hope you mentioned this over soup with Varys, actually.
Oh yeah,
'Cause that
absolutely.
seems like such a fun thing to mention. You're having training
Yeah.
with the vampire that lives on the regal port. Does Varys seem to be surprised by this information? Does Luca share that?
Yes.
Probably without realizing that Varys
And then
doesn't
what
know.
I think Varys is surprised there's a vampire in Regalport.
I know,
Since
I
right?
was like, right? I didn't know either.
I think
There's nothing to worry about. He's very kind.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not concerned. It's just interesting.
And like tipping their head with a tense lip, staring at the wall, like, well.
I saw him on my seat person.
I mean, vampires gotta eat. Like that's,
I believe what I saw was murderous rage.
yes.
So
When you looked in the mirror or somewhere else?
both. That's I
An
know the
everyday
look.
occurrence.
Yeah, that's why I could spot it.
There's a song. All right, go on, Zeke. I love
Yeah.
Varys being like, I've lived here my whole life. What?
I mean, the vampire is asleep most of the time, so Zeke
45
also-
years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking for Varys' sake.
Yeah, I think Stika also explains the situation since she is also familiar with Nereus.
Yeah.
And Luca might explain that like he's a paladin as well, so they're going to, discuss those sorts of things,
Yeah, well,
whatever that means.
yeah. In that case, Varys wishes you good luck on your training. He guesses.
With the vampire.
Very
I guess.
surprised.
Valid.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah, so Luca.
a holy vampire, not just a wild one.
Not just one you picked out of the forest and said, "Train me."
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lovely like early lunch of chatter and banter. And you guys go your separate ways. Varys heads back to Realport. Willow, you head back to work. Give me another Tinker's Tools check. If you would like to, you can have advantage from Fishdog helping out.
I will. Tinker's tools. Oh,
17. Good. You're making decent headway. You should be done with catching up, like, by the end of the week.
it's very telling. That like 3 weeks worth of work.
Yep.
But then again, they've been filling in for me, so
Yeah. They've been doing their best, but it's also like it's all like minor stuff.
Yeah.
That's all the repairs and things.
Stuff that could wait.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
In which case, I think now we move to evening.
Yeah, I think basically N would stick around at the Poppy until maybe even Elsa's gonna be heading to bed, because I imagine Luca's gonna be out quite late.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He is going to be training basically all night.
Yeah, so N's gonna, like, hold down the fort, and I don't know how late Luca's gonna stay at the Poppy, but N's basically gonna stay at the Poppy until Elsa goes to bed, and then they're gonna head out to Willow's boat.
Ooh.
I think before we see that, we should follow Luca.
Yes, I think so too.
His backpack.
'Cause Luca,
Oh.
Luca's the one having a training session.
Yeah.
With his toast in his mouth, running out late to 6, 8, 12 p.m., 12 a.m.
Yeah. Yep.
I think, Luca, you head to Regalport at sundown.
Yeah.
That one.
And meet with Nereus, who, as soon as night has fallen, leads you to walk with him to the ruins of Caer Bradan.
Oh.
You're more excited than I am.
Because it's cool as shit. Carry on.
You head up to the windswept, crumbling walls of the ancient castle with Nereus, leaving the bustle and lights of Regalport behind you in the distance. Under clear, starry skies, the moon's hanging overhead. Nim, fullest and most prominent, as the others sort of dance around the sky, weaving between the ring of Cerberus and the stars. Nereus finally stops and turns to you and begins. When last we spoke, you told me of your experiences in combat, your strengths and weaknesses, your frustrations. I think that you have been holding back, whether intentionally or not. You must know yourself in order to master yourself. If you are not aware of your limits, you can neither exceed them nor plan around them. Ignorance on the battlefield is more deadly than any blade. If you want to protect your allies, this must be your foundation.
Luca is listening intently and very stiff. Seems like he's not unfamiliar with getting into this headspace of being receptive to information.
Mhm. That being said, first I will teach you a spell that should make our training easier. And Nereus begins to instruct you, though he has no magic of his own, being not that kind of vampire, how to cast the spell. Find Steed. He instructs you to conjure a memory of a beast to bear you forth and be your companion, a manifestation of your magic itself, as sort of a second body that will work in tandem with you to help you protect, and it should also make your travels to and from Regalport a little easier.
Okay. Do you want me to describe what Luca's kind of thinking in that moment?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Luca's initial thought is just the first thing to pop into his mind is Daisy the donkey, but the idea of riding Daisy the donkey is a little bit.
That's not quite right. You're a bit too big for that donkey.
Yeah, just a little bit. So then his mind wanders to what happened on that journey, which was a nice grounding experience with Secret Elsa and learning about how his faith has kind of helped keep Salvage safe, even if it wasn't his own, work or his own actual actions. Still, his faith was what had kept the what's it called?
The barrow?
The barrow, that's it. Kept the barrow from really harming more people than it could have. And then his mind wanders to that giant elk that was undead and in the forest. And that seems a little more appropriate. And in the back of his mind, in a way that he's not even aware exists, he's thinking of reddish black, kind of mulberry colored fur and a flowing mane.
Yes. As you perform the gestures and speak the words that Nereus teaches you to find your steed, you sort of draw forth this magic from yourself, from your reliquary, and this ghostly apparition that then becomes solid starts forming in front of you. This large elk beast conjured from your magic, a reflection of yourself, appears forth in the center of the ruins under the moonlit sky.
Ah,
Oh my god!
gorgeous, haunting, and beautiful.
Oh my god! Yo! Oh my god, I thought you were getting a horse. That's not a horse. Oh my god!
Amazing.
Oh my god.
I think Luca is a bit stunned and instinctively like pinches the fabric of Nereus' sleeve. Like, what? Do you see that?
Nereus nods. Well done. Elk is an interesting choice, but it suits you. The elk, your steed, bows its head. Sort of ghostly breath. Like it's cold out, but it's not. It's a warm night. Sort of flowing out. It inclines its head to you in deference.
Luca reaches out and like, I can only describe it as the How to Train Your Dragon gesture. Offers his hand, and there is the knowledge that when doing this, he should do so with a flat palm and straight fingers.
Mm-hmm. The elk sniffs the palm of your hand. You feel this cool breath, cool nose, solid but something strange and almost fluid about it, like touching solid smoke. As it nuzzles into your hand. It feels real, but also like distinctly magical. And you have an understanding with your steed, which should now be able to see in the player characters drop-down menu.
My own little guy!
Aww.
You're a little guy!
Your little guy.
Oh my gosh!
You're both
Your
so
own little
lucky.
guy, which is a large beast with the
Yes.
Your little guys are external. My little guy, on the other hand.
very good. Now, Nerea says, we begin your training. I will attack your steed, and you will defend it.
Okay, Luca gasps the gasp of like, what?
It is
He
a
was
being
not
of
prepared
magic.
for this.
Yeah, it is a being of magic. No matter how much I harm it, you will be able to resummon it, making it a suitable sparring companion.
Luca's stomach is like, no, but that's mean. It looks too alive to do that.
Good motivation.
Yeah. He nods, resolute, after a moment. Only a moment of kind of childish wonder.
I think, give me an insight check.
Yeah. $19?
Nereus is amused by your, like, what? But that's me, but you're my friend! And there's, like, a little smirk at the corner of his mouth, as he draws his sword and tells you to draw yours,
Mm-hmm.
and will begin training you. We're not gonna roleplay out combat this time.
Yep.
But this is the first of what will become many nights spent atop the ruins of Caer Bradan with your magical steed and the bloodsworn seeker Nereus, forcing you to use every tool in your power so that you become a master at them, so that you feel confident at them, and that you do not hold back when it comes to defending your friends.
And maybe defending himself as well, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Can we know like what kind of attacks, like what kind of stuff is Nereus doing? Later?
Nereus is mostly attacking Luca straight up with a sword or his claws. Like if Luca disarms him, he'll go with claws and teeth.
Oh.
Usually at the steed, which is immune to the curse of vampirism, on account of it being not a real animal.
You bite into it and it tastes like roses and treachery.
It's like trying to eat like a spray of perfume.
Yeah.
Hip. But yeah, we may come back to play out some of these scenes
Okay.
more in the future.
Okay. Shh, I'll stop talking.
But this first night, it is mostly Luca becoming acquainted with his new steed.
Yeah.
Horse, kind of.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. Elk.
Yeah, that one.
Beautiful.
Fluffy baby.
Very beautiful, very powerful.
Very powerful.
Yeah, thank you.
I think Luca by the end seems very like encouraged. He is, I think he ends up smiling a lot by the end of it because he feels himself falling into a familiar rhythm.
Yeah.
And even if he hasn't reached a level where he is as confident as he might have once been. He can feel that it might be something he can do. So
Yeah.
he is the elation of summoning a steed and realizing how very possible it might be to get
Mhm.
back a part of himself that he might have lost and maybe
Yeah.
thought he didn't want back, but now realizes is invaluable,
Yeah.
carries him to just the greatest mood.
Yeah. I think we see at the end of the night of training, maybe 2 or 3 in the morning, you riding back to salvage atop this majestic elk with blooms in its flowing mane. So, any more scenes for tonight, or shall we move on to the next day, where we have drinks with Brina?
I think just
and,
as
and Willow gonna talk? Like,
not specifically, but and will show up
Yeah, okay.
at Willow's boat and seem like they want to hang out a bit if Willow is amenable. And while they're going to ask Willow if they want to learn a little 2-person dice game. Probably something Willow's never heard of, because I think this is a game that N has made up before with other people. And played with Tassie and wants to share that with Willow because they talked about that before on the ride to the memorial.
Cute.
That's so cute. Thank you. I also think that Willow, when you walk in, like, you can talk, like, the scene just before you walk in is Willow kind of, they've cleared off that little desk a bit. They've organized things into piles, and they are noodling around with their chess pieces and kind of like pacing around the board a bit. Doing a bunch of other stuff too. They probably were sketching something in their book as well, in their like usual work on their table. But yeah, there's just like a little indications of Willow having been doing stuff, but like they will pack up when N comes, and they will gladly literally pick up the table again and place it aside so that we can play dice.
Cool.
Yeah, they pick up the table like they were up to something and then put it aside when you show up. And yeah, we have a nice night of that playing dice. And let me do an insight check. Oops, sorry, I did that with advantage. I just needed.
We'll just take the one on the left.
The one that's not the
Okay.
the one.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Cool.
And just seems to be
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
to share this with you. This
Yeah.
game, they seem excited, and it's kind of
Cool. Well,
comforting.
I'm happy that I'm happy that you popped around to just play games. That's fun.
Yeah.
Willow, I assume doesn't insight whether that's for me or for you. It's just happening. So
It
that can
just
happen.
is.
Yeah. Cute.
Yeah.
Cheers. You're welcome to stay another night if you so want to fall asleep.
They might. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Stay up late playing dice, fall asleep on couch.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Cozy.
Guess what? You're getting tucked in again. Not tucked in again. Not like Luca. You're getting a blanket thrown over you again.
Thanks. I don't want a disaster like at the start of this.
No.
One is enough. That whole day was a disaster, but I'm here now.
Well, I can toss it over you with a pointed, like, I won't tuck you in. I'll do you the dignity of not tucking you in.
Thank the sovereigns.
Nick, keep working
Alright.
while you snooze. They keep sketching. Yes, they seem to have their crossbow out.
Can I do a sneaky little insight check to see if I could see any of their sketches while I was here?
Sure.
I think this would be a perception check.
Perception. Okay.
What's my I cover my work? What's my I cover my work?
I think it's a sleight of hand check.
What the fuck ever,
No.
honestly.
I wish
You
wow.
see-
I'm got good eyes.
Can't hide anything from those eyes.
Nope. It appears that Willow their chessboard is repopulated, you see that, but also they seem to be disassembling their crossbow. You remember that they haven't really used it in a while, and they have sketches that it's kind of hard for you to pass from a distance, I assume, because it's kind of Willow's own style
Yeah,
of
you would have
blueprinting.
to. You would have to make an Arcana check to make heads or tails of what you actually see.
Yeah.
But you do definitely see the sketches of something that looks like the crossbow from multiple angles, with like many lines, kind of like leading and like little notes about things that Willow probably intends to build.
Yeah, I don't know how to read blueprints, but I know what they look like, so.
I'm not a read. Rolls over, goes to sleep.
I'm gonna forget how to read for the rest of the night. Goodbye.
Night.
Okay. In which case, we move on to the 14th, where you have scheduled drinks with Brina
Yeah.
in the evening in Regalport. Brina takes you all to a well-worn bar by the name of Any Old Port, located on the edge of Herringbone Way. The atmosphere is cozy, the interiors are dark wood and leather upholstery. There's like the faint smell of like incense mixed with like fruit and liquor, and the low rumble of easy conversation between the patrons. Brina is a little more cleaned up than usual, but not that much. Instead of her usual trench coat, she's wearing like a shorter cut suit jacket.
Ooh, fancy.
With a tie, no armor, no weapons this time. It's just a nice evening out on the town. Celia is there in like a cute sort of shin length dress and a cardigan. She's, I don't know if we've described her on the show, but she's like got brown tan skin with these like maroon cat eyeglasses and sort of dark honey colored hair cut into like a little cute bob.
Nice.
She pretty.
Now have a look at his party clothes.
Yes, and what's Willow wearing?
Yeah, I didn't really think of that. I kind of think that Willow still kind of worked on the weekend. We work on the weekends in Salvage, right?
Yeah. Sometimes.
I think Willow. Yeah, I still imagine Willow had like a day. Can I do one final Tinker's check to see if I finished my work today?
Sure.
Yeah. Pardon me for thinking of work while I'm here. It's just setting up the scene with advantage.
You keep odd hours so you can kind of work whenever.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Hey, you've
Nailed
caught up
it.
on your 3 weeks of work within the week.
In like 3 days.
Classic
Yeah.
Willow.
I mean, you had
What,
two,
like it's hard?
you had 2 days before, so literally within 5 days you've caught up on
all your work.
all your
Never.
work.
Yep. I'm trying to decide whether I feel like Willow kind of like smashed out their workday and then like kind of didn't have much time to get ready, so they've slapped the rock and then they've gone home and they've been like, am I going as Gil or am I going as Willow?
It is drinks, so
Yeah, they're not like, yeah, sure. Willow just like,
Well,
in
they
their room
can't
looking
drink
like
in the
mask.
mask.
Yeah. And then like, yeah, fine, they'll go as Willow. And I think they're going to actually wear that silk shirt that Kat bought me.
Mm.
But because I'm in a hurry, I think Willow's kind of just chucked it on over there. Like they cleaned up after work and they're just going to kind of chuck it on over their work shirt,
Yep.
which is their general shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll keep their sprite as is. So don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
What's it? And here's Audrey.
yeah.
Pretty ladies.
Girls' night.
Good
Girls'
to see you
night.
all.
Yeah, literally, girls' night.
Sure.
Hey, guess who this is? Audrey gesturing at Willow.
Gil, right?
Audrey like puts her finger to her lips, playfully, but with a little
Willow
nod.
makes Willa makes the keep your voice down gesture jokingly, and then tips a imaginary hat at Brina. Nice to officially meet you.
Yeah, it's good to
Again.
see you all. Good to see you all. This is one of my regular places, so let's go on inside. Let's stop hanging around the doorway. You had indoors.
Yeah.
Quick.
Audrey's claiming
Sure, I
the
don't-
the bill at the door.
Okay.
Oof, almost.
She
My quick
said she was
perception
gonna.
check to see is. Oh, sorry.
She said she was gonna treat Brina, and she's like, no one else is taking this. The bill is mine.
Fine.
What was the perception check for?
Check if I know anyone here, or if I see anybody that I should be hiding from.
No, I don't think you do.
Nice.
You maybe see someone you recognize as like the cousin of somebody that you work with in salvage, but that's about it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. No
So-
worries.
It's just like I think I recognize that person, but I've never spoken to them before.
Cool, that's fine.
And like it's pretty easy. Brina walks up to the bar and starts ordering rounds. Or introduces you guys to the bartender, who is a shorter half-orc man, missing one of his tusks with a little bit of gray stubble. And Brina greets him and says, "Hey, Ernst, out for a night on the town?" He says, "Evening." The usual. And Brina nods. "Yeah, I think so." "All right. Old-fashioned with an orange twist coming up."
Is he handsome?
I would describe him as rugged,
Oh.
but not necessarily ruggedly handsome. Just rugged.
Guy's seen some shit.
Like when a jacket gets tossed on the side of the road. Like
Yeah.
that.
Sure,
He's
he
a
has
very working class kind of man.
plenty of bartender wisdoms.
Yeah. You would guess he's in his like late 40s, early 50s maybe.
Yeah.
Can I take a... what's Celia's vibe?
Celia is like happy to chat. I think she's making small talk with Audrey and orders a gin and tonic. What you guys getting? Cocktails are 15 copper pieces or 1.5 silver per glass.
I think Luca
and-
will get the same as Brina.
Okay, so old-fashioned with a orange twist. The bar's signature drink is the Port in a Storm.
Oh, no, Luca will get that.
Okay.
What is that?
It is ruby port, whiskey, and cognac mixed together.
Might as well get the thing that the place is known for. I'll also get one of those.
Sure.
I'll get the same as my boss.
Okay.
Cute.
Yeah.
Wait, you paying all the drinks or just yours?
No, I'm
All the
treating
drinks.
everyone.
Oh, so I'm not even taking money off.
Nope.
Nope.
Audrey's
Oh.
like, I'm taking the whole bill. I'm treating all of you.
Yep.
You don't get a
Audrey's
say.
got, like, fire in
Cutting
her
in.
eyes, and she's like, "My shout," and it's like,
Yeah.
"I will kill you if you don't." It was,
Yeah.
it was like, "Hey."
Essentially. She took
Yeah.
that out the door.
In front
She
of your
does.
boss?
She knows you, Willow.
Yeah, no, Willow's
She's doing
surrendered.
a kill steal, but it's not a kill. It's a bill.
Don't worry, I'm used to that.
Bill
Like,
Steele.
Yeah.
Bill Steele!
worse things have happened.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And I think like after you get your drinks at the bar and sort of pay for the first round, because this is the kind of bar where it's you pay as you buy,
Yeah.
not after you drink when you leave the establishment,
Yeah, that's valid. Like a restaurant.
which is pretty standard procedure for most bars.
Yes.
You sort of find a nice cozy table on the side or whatever and are able to like chat and unwind together.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
think Audrey's gonna get into telling stories.
Hmm.
And
Oh.
the one she's probably going to tell is about the investigation of the Barrow outside of Salvage. And talk
Oh.
about how she and her crew here rescued Salvage from a vicious shadow monster. Tracked it down all the way to the farm, the Delvine farm, and talked with witnesses. And then trekked out into the forest, almost got squished by a tree, but didn't.
Almost got eaten by a spider, but didn't.
Almost got eaten by a spider for a second time, and this one could disappear, but didn't.
We take a sip every time you say, but didn't.
Yeah.
The drinking game, yes.
Yeah. I think Brina is impressed and very entertained. Celia is like does a big shudder when you mention the giant spiders.
Oh my god, mood.
I know, right?
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah, try to avoid the webs. They're very unpleasant.
And they do make sound.
Looks at
I think Brina's like, what do you mean they make sound?
They sound
And
like
they get into the whole conversation of like the web making sound situation. I think Brina does a little a toast to a contract well done, and thanks Audrey for the treat. Though she argues like, really, it should be me treating you.
No. I insist.
I don't think I want to argue with you.
Good choice, detective. I knew you were sharp.
Audrey's gonna also like press Brina for at least one story. Come on, detective. I'm sure you've seen some shit.
Okay. Yeah. Gosh. I think Brina talks about like a robbery that turned out to be insurance fraud.
of course.
Naturally.
Yeah. Some merchant art collector talks about being like robbed or something like that, like a vase or some family heirloom was stolen, and then it turned out that like he was putting on this big old show about it
So he could get the money, the insurance
so he
money.
could get the money. He could get insurance money, and so that like he could arguably like write somebody out of a will or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And Brina was like, "No, your damn fingerprints are on the thing."
Can't. you really thought you had something there, huh?
What's a fingerprint?
Brina wearing gloves. Not
Yeah.
mine, that's for damn sure.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. Yep. If you've seen the suitable for framing episode of Columbo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Shout out to
Shout
the
out to Columbo.
inspiration.
You're a
And
real G.
Audrey toasts to catching dumbasses red-handed.
Yeah.
Well, it toasts and drinks deeply.
Yeah.
Good time.
It is a jovial sort of evening. I think Brina will check in on Willow, still calling you Gil because that's the name that you were introduced by, asking if you're like doing okay. Like you don't have any bruises or anything from being dragged down a flight of stairs.
Oh.
I honestly
Practical
think Willow,
concern.
Yeah. No, I feel like Willow's, you know how like you guys have all kind of been talking. Willow's not trying to obviously exclude themselves, but it just has that like they're happy to watch and listen. They're not really like actively engaging. So I think that they might be a bit like when Brina like talks to them about that. Anyway, so Willow will dismiss it immediately. Like, no, it's fine. Nothing I didn't get over in a day.
Well, that's good. I think Brina probably like has an aside where she's getting like another. I think while Audrey and Celia are collecting another round of drinks or something, and Luca's maybe. I just want an aside with Willow and Brina.
Yeah. Okay.
Where it's like under the din of like the conversation and stuff, she's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't get to ask you if you wanted to press any charges or anything like that."
Oh. No. I knew where to find you if I wanted to do that, and I was well aware that you were offering that option to many people. So, and otherwise.
Yes, well, you were pretty affected by the whole situation. Wouldn't want you to think that your efforts, as much as you've done your best to avoid any official involvement, I didn't want you to feel like you didn't contribute or the work you did wasn't. What I'm trying to say is, thank you for everything you've done. I understand that you were really helpful in providing information for Miss Audrey and myself, and without you sort of causing that distraction, I doubt that we would have been able to find Mr. Luca and recover him as smoothly. So, if there's any favor I can do, even just putting a word in or getting some of that forfeited money to you, obviously that's not gonna undo being drugged and hurt and all that, but you know.
Willow's giving, like, they're certainly hearing Brina, but I feel like they kind of, it's that awkwardness of like, I've been caught in a very sincere conversation, and the insight check is just kind of seeing like what Brina's vibe is.
I think it's sincere concern, and like she is aware that you deliberately avoided signing onto the contract because you were being shady. And like it's not her place to sort of call you out on whatever you did that was perhaps illegal, but she is very aware that you like helped in a major way towards the case. And would like to give you appropriate thanks.
Okay. Willow's they do that like quick side check of seeing that you guys are still over there.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
feel
not going
like
to be saved from this conversation by like a suddenly appearing Audrey or anything.
Audrey and like Luca and Celia like caught in a chat at the
Yeah.
bar, I think.
Yeah.
As they're waiting for drinks to be served.
Yeah, there's this like Willow looking around the room for like, what's going to get me out of this situation? And then like concluding after looking around, nothing's going to get me out of this situation. I have to respond to it. So they'll take a minute, a sec to kind of, the instinct is to swat it off. Like, don't even worry about it. But I think what Willow will end up saying is, you've already paid your favor back, with what you've done with Audrey and keeping everybody safe and closing the case. So there's little more I can ask in terms of favors or payment. I didn't necessarily do it for either of those things, so
I
you've
understand,
done
but
plenty.
I'd still like to extend my thanks.
Yeah, well, likewise. But well, it doesn't matter. Still no help on the way. No one's coming back. Okay.
We can if you want.
No, I feel like they're just processing that. It's very nice to be thanked. Very nice to be thanked, rather. But they just like don't know. I think they might mention off.
Would
What's
you
that?
like a suggestion for how to diffuse the earnestness of the situation?
Perhaps. And I'll
Well,
see
you've
if I
been
go
wanting
that way or
to-
another one.
Yeah, you've been wanting to have a battle of wits. Here's a
That
very
is
witty woman.
That's a good point. I don't think I want to tell her that I'm like, oh, well, I don't quite believe it because I didn't quite accomplish what I wanted. Like, I don't know if I'm at that point with Brina yet or anybody, like, other than you guys, you know? So I was tossing up between, like, do I respond to her earnestly or do I just swerve?
Your choice.
I like Ernest Willow.
Okay, of course you do. I think Willow will flippantly say, with beverage in hand, probably finished, which is why you guys are replenishing them. I only wish there was more I could have done on my own terms.
Yeah, I understand how that can feel. Loose ends and all that.
In your professional opinion, how do you deal with them?
Well, I tend to try and tie them in a bow. Wrap them up as neatly as I can. But life is a bit messy, so there's always going to be a dangling thread here or there, and you just kind of have to learn to live with it and focus on what you can do.
Tying it in a bow, does that include pursuing the loose thread until it becomes not so loose anymore?
It depends. At the very least, I write it down in my reports and try to keep it filed in a neat way so that if the loose thread ever does start to tug again, I can follow it up in the future. But
And what about the
largely it's about making my peace with it.
Willow gives a little smirk, but then we'll say, and what about the future that we aren't here for? 100 years from now?
That's outside my scope. I'm gonna be honest, I don't usually think about that far ahead. Too much going on right now.
With what little remains in their drink, Willow's going to raise a glass to Rena.
She raises it back.
Clinks, no explanation, and drinks. And then I think you guys can probably head back.
Yeah, I think Audrey, like, not aware of this conversation, saunters back, like,
So, Celia was just telling us how long you two have been working together.
as she, like, slides back into her seat and presents some drinks. Luca with the rest, because he's a big boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been working with Celia basically since we've been in Regalport.
Was that 5 years now?
Yeah, around about that. Isn't that right? And Celia says, 6 in winter. 6 in winter.
She forgot the anniversary.
How'd you two
I
In
am-
meet?
trouble.
Oh, okay.
I think it's basically Brina starts telling the story of like trying to start up an Inquisitor's office, because there is a warning guild in that is run by House Madani in that same building that is about like people who want like poison detectors. It's like a slightly different, more subtle version of Deneth bodyguards.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's about sort of the counter espionage thing, whereas Brina is specifically a detective who does like missing persons cases, stuff like that. And she put out an ad for a secretary, and Celia was like pretty much the first and best candidate.
Yeah, I think Audrey's specific in the prod. Like, what made Celia so special? What made her stand out? What do you like best about Celia?
Oh my god.
And make Brina spell it out for her.
I think Brina is like, well, for one thing, she's able to read my handwriting. I think that was kind of a big issue about the listing I posted, which was not in the best place. And Celia goes on about like how Brina like literally just posted handwritten notes.
Well, if they couldn't
Oh my
figure
God.
those out, did they really deserve to work with the great Madani detective? It was a test. It was all planned.
You passed. Congratulations. Fuller raises a glass again. Everyone has to cheers.
Yeah.
I think Celia like rolls her eyes at this
Does she cheers? Does she clink? Willow's going to insist until she clinks.
begrudgingly. I think Brina looks pretty sheepish about it.
Cute.
Like, yeah, Brina's like, look, I'm good at my job, and I know, and being a secretary is my job, let's say.
With other things to do.
Yeah. But yeah, Celia runs a tight ship of the Badani office. Everything is filed and alphabetized, and so on.
She's always got tea ready when a strange little changeling wanders into the office.
Has that happened more than once?
Well, I wore different faces each time.
Yes, but the shoes were the same, Celia says.
Aha! Yes, that's what I gathered. Good to know.
Now, next time you lie to a Madani detective, you'll know how to.
Next time I'll change my shoes.
Every time.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna have to have a different pair for every persona, every outfit, including the masks, the disposable masks. They'll need their own shoes. I think I'm gonna need a bag of holding for all this deceit I'm planning.
Oh. I think Celia gives you a side. It was just the footprints that you left on the carpet, not the actual appearance of the shoes on the outside. But it's
Different footprints.
if you're planning on being untraceable, maybe don't do that in front of the detective.
Yes, I understand that was probably my first mistake. I never said the plan I walked into your office the first time with was any good.
I think there's a good laugh. in
Yeah.
that.
I'll make sure to instruct any foundlings I find along the way to, perhaps have a better plan when they decide to first strut their stuff in front of you.
Well, I'll be happy for the recommendations.
You can count on it.
William might actually ask now, have you received any interest after the papers? You've received a fair bit of good press. Any interested parties flocking at your door? If they can find it.
Well, I have had some word passed along by the Port Authority of perhaps some other cases I can work. Thankfully, no more murders for now.
Yeah, we want to
Hopefully
pace
never
those
again.
out.
Luca makes a face.
Pacing could be, not within Rina's
100
lifetime.
years?
It's like 200 years for half elves.
I was joking about Wolfred's
I know.
imprisonment time. Yeah. Kidding. Yeah.
You're awful.
Me? Or Audrey?
No, I think it was just a general.
Me?
Wonderful.
Oh, yes, I know. I have it right here in this letter of recommendation. Audrey is good at her job, but she is also terrible. That is a good summary of me.
I think the word I actually used was menace, Miss Audrey. You are a menace.
Oh, thank
Luca raises his
you.
glass to cheers to
Yeah,
that.
Audrey was already on her way.
Lots of very many silly toasts.
Yes. Can we play a game? Once we get a little bit more...
Sure. What would you
Loopy
like
loopy?
to play?
Did you just say the name of a game and was it Loopty Loopy?
Yeah.
Or a wee loopy? Is that what you were saying?
I was just saying, now that we're getting a bit loopy-loopy, like as in like...
Yeah.
as the drinks
Okay.
are coming in, we're being a bit more silly. I think Willow...
I don't think Luca's drinking much again.
That's
just
fair.
as an aside.
Yeah,
but
that's
he
fair.
is easily swayed into a good time.
There's
So-
plenty of
Yes.
snacks and good vibes going around. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's bar snacks, peanuts, and stuff like that.
yeah. And Audrey's not
Cool.
drinking so
Yeah.
much
I
to
imagine-
get drunk, just to enjoy
Yeah.
the drinks.
Social
Yeah.
beverage. Yes, I imagine Willow kind of leans her elbow across the table to Brina. Now that they've like had that little talk and we've been chatting and we're comfortable,
Mhm.
Willow's going to say, "How good is your perception anyway?"
Say pretty good.
Pretty good. We should play a game.
Ooh, what did
All
you
right.
have in mind, Gasket?
Willow's looking on a table. Could just be the two of us, but it could also include our friends.
Wiener
Though
quirks an eyebrow.
I don't believe our paladin boasts high perception.
I can still play. You can have a baseline of regular to compare to.
You may surprise yourself. I've always been curious at what a detective can glean from just looking at a person.
Do me.
I think that would be fun. You should.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Well, what sort of things am I looking for?
What did I do last night?
That's pretty specific. I don't know if I can do that, but I can. Oh,
That feels more psychic than
Divination.
perceiving.
yeah, it's
Little different.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think
It's
like a-
Where
oh.
is my dragon mark?
Oh.
I'm assuming on your body.
She did it. She's too good for me.
Wow, incredible. Amazing. Question, we don't know where Brina's dragon mark is, do we?
It's on her hand.
It's on her hand.
Yeah,
it's
we
on the
know.
palm
it
of her hand. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So you would like see it when you shake her hand.
Can
Yeah.
you guess which mark he is?
Oh. Hmm.
Very difficult.
Well, considering he was hired as a bodyguard and his general demeanor, and acting like a bodyguard, I'm gonna guess Denise.
No, Madani too.
You really don't seem like a Kenneth type, so you could be Tharash, I
Luca
guess,
makes
but
a
I kind of
face.
doubt it.
What's
Are
your
you
face?
saying I'm not intelligent enough to be an engineer?
No, I just don't think you have the business savvy, let's say, that most Kenneths do.
I mean, obviously, he's got the mark of handling with how much he loves Peter.
Hmm.
You're definitely not Vodalis.
No, you were right. I think that's a pretty obvious one. I think I'm kind of archetypal. I look at Anne like, is that the right word?
Yeah, Audrey nods.
Hmm.
I think, like, is there anything to glean from Audrey? Because Willow's going to sort of look now at Audrey and be like, you are sort of manufactured.
I am a manufactured menace.
Hmm.
Even so, it's pretty obvious that Miss Audrey comes from Sharn.
What are the tells?
Oh, there's turns of phrase. There's a certain
Tau, spit. Yeah.
That's the line.
flexible attitude towards the law.
So is everyone from
Familiarity
Shaman
with-
a criminal?
Let her finish.
No,
let her
but
finish.
there's a flexible attitude of practicality towards enforcing the law.
A very free
Um.
city.
And of course, there is a degree of familiarity with vertical spaces.
Yes.
Oh.
Like a cat.
Audrey
Or a
nods,
bird.
puts up her hands like guilty as charged.
Interesting.
It's mostly the tower spit and all that.
That is
Yes.
most people's first indication, yes. You're not the first person who has caught me with that.
Are there things in every city that kind of give you an indication of people there?
Well, I would guess so, but I haven't been to that many cities. I mean, I'm familiar with Sharn on account of growing up in Brayland.
Oh.
Admittedly, I didn't live in Sharn myself, but
It's hard to miss.
it's got a pretty big reputation, and it's the biggest city in the world. You know,
I bet you could see it.
from
Could you
rope.
see it? Could you see it from road? I've never been.
Maybe on a clear day, but I don't know.
With your keen eyes?
I take that as a no then. Always seems so larger than life. Kinda assumed you could see it from everywhere before I left.
I wouldn't doubt that.
That kind of mentality sounds Shanish as well.
Oh, something like that. Depends where you live on the, hierarchy.
Yep. Should I turn my attention to you, Gil?
Yeah, Willow was sitting up right, like, just before Brina spoke, they were about to say, okay, have a go. Yep, they adjust their jacket and they sit up, right, fold their arms, and gesture
Okay.
to Brina to have a go.
Okay. Yeah, she will do a perception and an insight check on you.
Oh.
Pretty high, pretty high.
I'm gonna guess you're not from Regalport, but you've been living in the Principalities for quite some time. You've got a little bit of a tattoo peeking out of your sleeve there. You have the sort of cavalier attitude towards combat that I've seen among pirates. But I'm gonna guess you're probably originally from Siri, maybe the Borderlands. Around it. Dargoon, maybe?
Audrey bounces her brows and peers over at Willow.
Willow was expecting, because like she knew that I was going after Warford. She knew that it was air quotes personal, and I wear a Warforged mask. But I don't think Willow was expecting her to say Dargoon, so there's a little bit of an eyebrow pop above their glasses.
I know there's like plenty of shifters in Dargoon. Tends to be a bit of an overlap in those communities, and well, I might be wrong, and but you don't seem like Central Syria. And well, it was only annexed like what, 50 years ago? Old enough for, let's say, your parents or grandparents to come from Syria originally, but well, you know, the war. Am I on the money here? Oh, and you're definitely Kenneth trained. No question about that.
Wow.
Audrey's giving Willow a look like you asked for it.
Willow's Mim's trying to containment. That's so funny. Willow's like sitting there.
Does
just,
Willow
like,
look
bracing.
okay?
There's like a storm. Willow looks. Their eyebrows have just been up since she mentioned Dargoon.
Audrey sips her drink with a little smile.
To get that information out of Willow.
Proud of Brina's sharp eye, like, yeah, that's my boss.
Didn't get that all from this interaction. I mean, I've seen you around a few times.
Willow squints. Not prior to this case.
No, but I saw you at the gallery, and you've been in my peripheral since the case.
Yeah. Yes. Well. On the money, Willow says and raises the glass. Very impressive.
Yep, Audrey toasts.
Yeah, I'll toast as well. And then like lean from that into the next. I do actually imagine that in response to Brina pointing out the tattoo, Willow kind of rolls up their sleeves, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So like the next
rolls up their arms.
roll, you know what I mean? Their next turn they invite you to, and they lean forward on the table and they say, "Our turn." And now all just like they just take a big long stare at Brina. And Fish Dog is gonna float out too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rita
What
says,
am I
"Oh,
being invited to?
my turn in the spotlight, huh?"
Mm-hmm. Does Fish Dog give me advantage on perception and I can do my own insight?
Yes.
Let's see how this goes. Not 1, not 0. Willow's gonna be. Wait, no, tell me what I can perceive first.
Okay, so you can perceive the sort of everything about her clothing. She does not own an iron, or she doesn't know how to iron shirts.
Sweetie.
Oh boy.
She has you've seen her before, and like you know that like she obviously wasn't getting as much rest on the case. But she does have a sort of constantly disheveled sort of appearance. At least a little bit. Like she's tidied up a little bit to be a little more presentable for this evening out, but she's clearly more comfortable in sort of a less serious situation, more casual. Her nails are trimmed basically down to the quick. So she doesn't keep her nails. Yes, the free edge. Sorry.
Because the quick is the cuticle area, and I'm like,
my
what?
bad. Sorry.
Sorry,
nail girly.
Brina like, yeah, it's trimmed to the quick, and Luca's like, no, they're
Luca's
not.
head snaps to the side, like, what? Do you need a doctor?
I'm a
No
doctor now.
But her nails are like are trimmed pretty short. Like there's no white really.
Yes.
She has like sort of some ink stain on her middle finger of her dominant hand. I don't know. What else are you looking for, I guess?
Visible signs that she is a lesbian.
Stop it. I think beyond that, and because the insight check was so low, Willow's probably going to just like, because they're just observing, like, okay, she's a bit of a scruff, and she writes, like, unless there's anything else outstanding about her, like scars or tattoos or anything like that, then I feel like Willow's going to. I think
honestly, like the most outstanding things about her are her dragon mark, her slightly scruffy clothes, no makeup but clean. What else? And she has a bit of a squint most of the time. I think her eyesight is going. I think she's hit the part in her 40s where she's like on the edge of needing reading glasses.
Okay, Willow will notice that specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other than that, she seems like a pretty open book. She's been talking freely and pleasantly throughout the evening, so you don't think that there's like any massive revelations you could glean.
Nah. She's nice and she's cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of like all I think after that long pause of like looking her over very clearly, like across the table with kind of an intense scrutiny about them, Willow's just going to pull back and shrug. I got nothing. But you do need to make an appointment with an optometrist.
A what?
I don't know what to call them in this universe. Eye doctor.
Eye doctor. Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Oh.
We use words all the time.
Huh.
Maybe you could write that down, Celia. And hold her accountable.
Celia laughs.
Yeah, you've got a glasses expert right here.
You don't do that kind of corrective lens.
Were you talking about?
I was talking about Celia.
Yeah.
Celia's wearing glasses.
Okay.
Maybe she knows a good one.
I mean, I can see just fine across the room.
Willow gives you a look.
Across the room.
How about...
Does that mean you have trouble seeing up close?
this?
Audrey's sliding over like some sort of, like, I don't know, receipt or small document.
Yeah, Brina does the, like, holds it away from her face to focus.
Willow grabs Brina's wrist. See, therein lies the problem. Please make me appointment, Celia.
We wouldn't want a little tiny criminal to get away just because you neglected an appointment.
Oh god, I think like the conversation devolves into you guys like gently teasing Brina about needing reading glasses.
And
they're not so bad, but it's like a you should probably have a pair.
Yeah. brainstorming which shape would suit her best and all that, which I feel like the attention will make Brina be like, what?
Yeah, Brina's like, this is too much fuss, and she tries to change the subject of conversation, but Celia gets
harder. Yeah.
yeah, Celia gets in on
I can literally
the
imagine
Brina bullying.
and pulling out a piece of paper and like tracing out shapes of glasses and then cutting them out like with a knife as if they have an X-Acto knife and giving Brina like paper glasses to try on. See how this shape looks.
God, I at least give you like a Stanley knife or something on a leather mat so that you're not doing that with like a steak knife at a freaking
This is my first crime off contract. Vandalizing this table.
God.
Thank you,
Luca
Willow.
joins you, I think, but his glasses are much less refined.
Luca does big heart-shaped glasses.
Yeah,
gosh.
honestly, or like tries to carve a flower, but they kind of just look like lumps.
Mm-hmm.
Willow pulls a various amount of like sunglasses from their pocket out of nowhere. Yeah, that just kind of
Course
like
they do.
start like lining them up on Brina.
God. I
I
think
feel like
it's
we
a
all end
very
up trying those on too, just like cycling.
Yeah.
yeah.
Audrey
Yeah.
absolutely
Various
is gonna try on
sunglasses.
the glasses that she
Yeah.
forces upon
Yeah.
Brina.
Yep.
Which shape of glasses seem to suit Luca? Curious.
Probably like, Ray-Bans.
Ray-Ban style?
Yeah.
So like the typical like kind of trapezium, rounded trapezium.
Yeah,
shape.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
He looks almost like a smart boy.
Oh, like a Clark Kent style glass. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
it
like
is,
Clark
it
Kent.
is.
Yeah.
It is literally the Clark Kent style glasses.
Yes,
I
gotcha.
have an agenda.
Good.
When Audrey puts on one of the paper glasses, I think she's gonna keep it on for like a majority of the night and just pretend,
Aw.
like push up the bridge on her nose as if she's just a Poindexter. So smart, such a
God.
nerd.
God, that's so funny. Yeah, I think you guys have a good night out with Brina
Yeah.
and Celia.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Cute.
Nice to decompress after the events of the everything.
Yeah.
She's nice. It's nice to hang out with her. She's so pleasant.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing that happens is, before you two go, Brina pulls out a checkbook and says, the Inquisitive's office has been given a reward for our efforts on the case. So,
Oh. Lucky us.
she hands over a check to Audrey and Luca for 300 gold pieces.
Whoa, that's more than I
Each?
stole from Alonzo.
Each?
No,
Each
total.
or to both?
Total.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Cool.
Still.
Yeah, it's still
Still.
150 each.
Damn. Luca balks.
Yeah, that Animal
Miss
Crossing
Meraldine was good
noise.
enough to
Yeah.
Miss Meraldine was good enough to pay the office a sum total of 500, so I've taken 100 for myself and 100 for Celia, and two of you can split the rest. She nods to the three of you.
Yeah, Audrey is just like 150 for two or 100 for each.
100 each.
Yeah.
That seems fair, considering
Audrey
Celia and
elbows.
Brina got 100.
Audrey elbows Willow.
Well,
Well,
isn't Meraldine just such a darling?
Captain Frostroot has been quite generous with us, which is good considering everything.
Yeah, she ought to be.
Willow gives such a very fond smile at the response to realizing, like, the for two of you wink. It's
Yeah.
like, there's a little defeatedly fond smile about them as they kind of sink back in their seat, except that, like, gesture, if not the money.
Uh-huh. People care about you.
Haha, get
she
paid,
asked-
idiot.
She asked if I wanted it and then did it anyway. Friggin' genius. Okay, fine.
Thanks, Brina.
Was Audrey saying something?
I think
Or
she was
Brina?
done whatever she was saying. So
Yeah. But yeah.
yeah, I think Audrey's
You-
before they leave, Audrey will give Brina like a very hearty handshake and just tell her it was a pleasure working with her as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, before you guys close off, I was gonna say one last thing that Willow would probably joke about to diffuse the.
Yeah.
Little, I don't want to interrupt your guys' like cute shit.
Yeah. I think
Will it
this is
probably-
like happening on your way out, like you're leaving the bar, about to head your separate ways.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
I think Willow's gonna say something smug along the lines of like, here I was going to go claim my reward from Merrily myself. Suppose this will do instead.
Real pirate business.
Said because now Brina like has already clued in that Willow's like got pirate business, so it's said
Yeah.
Yeah.
deliberately in front of Brina like, haha, I'm gonna do crimes.
Yeah, well, I think
Now you guys
she's
are happy.
she's used to it by now. She's met me.
Yes. Yes, but Willow will give her a very like a genuine thanks, but even in a humble way.
Yeah.
Before leaving you two to talk.
Yeah, it's brief. Audrey just
Yeah.
big firm shake of the hand and
It's a pleasure working with
It's a
you.
soft boy, as always.
Yeah.
I have a
It was a
very,
pleasure working with you too.
very important question before I head off.
Yeah?
Are you a huggy person, detective?
I'm not opposed to it.
Well, neither am I.
and Audrey's gonna like still holding Brina's hand, pull herself in, and give a big like
Aw.
poop hug.
Aw. I think yeah,
Aw.
Brina gives you a hug and like a nice shoulder squeeze.
Yeah.
Oh. Be in good health, Miss Audrey.
You as well, detective.
And that's where
Can
we'll
I-
end
can I
today's
nudge-
episode.
Can I nudge Luca? I'm going to nudge Luca and point out, like, get him. Join it. Group hug, do it.
Okay.
Willow's like taps Luca and points it out, kind of like sticking a dog on someone.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah, literally. Like, what does Luca do when he sees the hug?
if he's allowed to join in, he will join it.
Okay, yeah. Luca joins in, group hug.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a whoa situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, Brina gives you like a pat on the shoulder as well. It's very warm, very comfortable.